never come my way. I feel the wind change. We can try again. I make it summer every day. I know you've been down. I'm the one in your heart. We could get together and we'll never be apart. I wanna get down. Everything we do is a work of art. Would you want some action? Hey, I'm on my way. We could get together and we'll never be apart. Come on. Hey, my babe. Would you want some action? Hey, I'm on my way. Come on, we just rock, don't stop. Would you want some action? Hey, I'm on my way. We could get together and we'll never be apart. Come on. Hey, my babe. Would you want some action? Hey, I'm on. I wanna get down, please stop. Heard you wanna get down. Heard you been asking about me to everybody else. No, it's nobody else. Nobody else. Makes me so crazy. You're the one true prize. Apple of my eye. Know you're looking for somebody who's your type. I got it. I got it. I got you. I got you. I got you. Would you want some action?
All right.
That's a vibe.
Whoa. Right?
Lagana. Yeah. Can they hear this music?
They can, yeah.
Otherwise, it's just me going,
Yeah,
We're
really
gonna-
groovy. No one can hear
we're
you.
gonna-
Which goes from being
Yeah.
a vibe to possibly a crime.
what's happening below the camera?
It's hard to say.
The world
honestly,
may never know.
So we get all our music from Soundstripe, and I mean, high quality library for sure. I know other libraries exist. I've interacted with some others, but I don't think I've found as much music that I would legitimately normally
Vibe with.
listen to as I do there. Yeah.
I agree. My only problem with Soundstripe is it loses its flavor so fast.
Ha ha ha.
That's a come on. That's not a
I
bad
think
reference.
When I was a
everybody.
kid, I think that's the reason I got into a habit of I would chew gum for like 5 chews and just swallow it.
because-
Swallow it?
Yeah.
he just passed his first piece of gum last week.
No.
He texted me a picture of it.
I did not.
What
That's
is that?
insane.
Isn't that what they said? They said like
It'll live
gums-
in your stomach forever, basically.
yeah, gum stays in your stomach for like
Yeah, it's
30
supposed to,
years
at least
or
like
something.
7 years or something like insane. Like
That's
all
not
just
true, though. It's not true.
I don't. How do you know? What if
I
what
assume-
if what if 45 of your pounds is just gum that you've consumed?
It behaves.
Just
It has
sitting there.
similar. It has similar
sticks.
physical properties.
It just sticks and it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, could be.
Guys,
yeah,
that's
hey
funny.
McKinsey, happy anniversary! 10 years, right? Congratulations.
Patrick told me ahead of time, so I thought that was nice.
Whose birthday is it?
Congratulations.
That will
It's
also be
Star
true.
Wars' birthday today.
Andrew,
Patrick's
your
birthday
birthday's
tomorrow.
right?
My birthday's not until. Happy birthday, Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy almost birthday.
I know. It's
That was a good
weird.
reference, by the way. Like, that
I
was a
know.
good-
I almost feel guilty slightly, because we
Why?
have 10-year anniversary on Friday, and I have birthday tomorrow. I don't. It just feels. I feel like a
much.
little braggadocious every time I see someone being like, "Well, I
Life
have
is
another
good.
event coming up. Like, you owe me more stuff."
You owe me more stuff. That
Yeah, because that's the only reason you do these things.
Yeah.
You owe me stuff.
We got to get on this episode because speaking of that, I have something for you, Patrick. But it's not a gift in the truest sense of the word. It's more of a replacement.
To a gift. So another gift,
It's a replacement.
like cash.
It's a replacement of some kind. He's looking at it right now.
You and I
can
both
see.
know that I don't have any extra cash right now. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm just gonna grab it.
Oh wait.
We're not,
okay.
like,
Hold
we're
on.
not. No one's listening to this right now. Like,
Just
we're-
Mackenzie. Just us and Mackenzie.
It's fine. Go grab it. And it's actually funny. Mackenzie, I don't know if you're listening. I just texted you as well. Bring me the bag upstairs. That's my bag.
Bring me the bag. Yeah.
I should have grabbed it.
Come hither, woman, with thine bag. That's what it was.
When he said.
Bring me the bag.
Bring me the bag.
Andrew, are you pinching your pennies so you can go to the dropout tour that's happening this summer?
No, but
okay.
Becca has already agreed for us to do a Vegas thing, Vegas to do the
Viva Las Vegas.
To do the what? The gambling?
No, there's the Las Vegas D20 show.
Yeah, it's gonna be they've already revealed that it's
that wasn't clear enough to me. Okay.
What's the space?
Starstruck Odyssey.
Starstruck
and
Odyssey.
Their show is Las Vegas because that's the setting from the show.
Yeah.
It's very clever and wonderful.
But even
you're gonna catch up on the entire 24 episode, 3 hour long season, right, Patrick?
It's a big season.
Yeah.
I'm about to be in the car for a bit, so maybe.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's actually not a bad idea. That would be a fun one.
Have you guys
tried?
I just got scared that my door opened and I asked someone to bring something through the door.
Not yet. I wasn't ready.
Thank you, Mackenzie.
You scare easily.
Happy anniversary. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
I thought she would say it to the microphone, but that's fine.
Her
too.
shirt is a little precocious, wouldn't you think?
What did it say?
Saint.
It's
just a saint, really big across it.
I'm excited about this.
Have you guys tried Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar Blackberry?
No.
What's it
Not
like?
I
sponsored.
hate everything about that description.
Yeah, I didn't know what to think of it. Someone recommended it, and then I picked it up. It's very tasty.
Okay.
What does it taste like?
I think it tastes like artificial blackberry.
Yes.
But it's cold. It has to be cold.
Warm soda is gross.
I am drinking, honestly, one of the worst things I've had in a while. Liquid Death.
Oh.
So they have they have like sparkling waters now and colas and whatever. These were, I would never spend the money for this.
Yeah, that was $43 what you're holding right there.
They were like half off. And so I grabbed a case because they were half off. And I'm not saying other flavors aren't good. Cola flavor is not great. Looks good. It looks nice in my fridge. I would almost buy it only to sit in my fridge.
That's
It's shelf candy.
I am drinking water. It's great.
You are the healthiest of us all.
Thank you.
This is after I had wine at lunch.
I had a big lunch. Let's get started in this episode because I want to tell you guys.
The whole point was that we started early.
Yeah. I want to tell you guys.
Let's go. I'm ready.
I just realized I didn't finish the thing.
Oh
so
my
one
God,
second.
that's
Sorry.
crazy to me.
I'm sorry.
You had one job.
Yeah, I have several jobs.
I'm just kidding.
How would you end this, Patrick? It's Star
Probably
Wars themed.
without a quip.
It's Star Wars themed.
May the force be with you, or like what kind?
Probably
of,
a riff on other things that rhyme with you. Just kidding.
One way out.
I did watch Men in Tights again yesterday.
That's
I
a
can
great
quote a
movie.
surprising amount of that movie.
It's a
Mackenzie
really
hasn't
funny
seen
movie.
it, and she seemed very unentertained sitting there
Oh
watching it
no!
with me.
I remember it being really funny.
I got it.
Hello, Becca. Hello. All right.
How do you spell
We got
cheese?
2 viewers.
Not that.
Hi, Becca.
All right, let's go. I'm ready.
I've been ready the whole time.
As if this is going to make him write faster if I just
I
ask
know.
him to go now.
If we just say that we're ready, that's totally how it works.
Okay, I'm ready. 3 and 2 and 1 and
You sped up. It's fine. Go ahead.
yeah.
We all
Welcome to
clap.
episode 500. Okay, what's that?
Nothing.
What you got? You had something?
No, I'm good.
Welcome to episode 581 of the Pop Culture Roundtable, the podcast that's one with the Force and the Force is one with it. In this episode, we talk about Star Wars Celebration, Survivor the Game, and Ryan Coogler's Sinners. I'm Andrew Sale.
I'm Lauren Rubin.
I'm Patrick Hill.
So holster your blasters and sheathe your sabers, because it's time to hit the jump for another episode.
Punch it, Andrew.
Hey! You
That's
know what
probably
you just signed?
It's because I know a Star Wars joke.
We should keep
I'm
that
ready.
and not what I was going to say, which is JJ did nothing wrong.
I feel like we need
wanna
to
keep
defend
any
Ryan
of our
Johnson, not
audience.
JJ.
Okay. We like to kick off every episode by going around the table, which is where we talk about things that are new, fun, and noteworthy about our weeks. I'm going to start by telling you guys something. I was trying to tell this story before we started recording, and I was like, we just need to start, and I'll tell you on the show. You remember, like, oh gosh, it was probably March of last year. I talked about how I sold off some of my collectible stuff, and then I did another batch of that. I think it was in July of last year. Well, the second batch that I sold off, he agreed to give me more money than what he initially wanted to give me, and he said, I can do more. It was basically like 30% more if you can let me pay it to you in installments. And I said, that's fine with me. That's fine. I need to get it out of my space. Well, so he agreed, and he over several weeks was back and forth and was like, yeah, I've got to sell this thing, and then I can send you some money. I'm going to make this long story short. I have only gotten a quarter of how much money was promised to me. I'm finally fed up. Like, there's been lots of back and forth.
How far behind is he with paying you? Sorry.
Oh,
like,
roughly a year.
He should have
okay. He'd already been
He should have
paid.
paid
Okay.
me off, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
months ago, yeah.
Just clarifying a little bit.
I was already kind of like frustrated back when we found out we were pregnant, because I was like, hey, I just found out we're pregnant, so I really need you to like finish paying this thing off. He's like, oh, okay, I totally get it. Okay, fine. And he's giving me excuses and after excuse of like, you know, I've got to pay my bills. I'm like, yeah, I also have to pay my bills. Like these things. Anyway, today I sent off a text that I very rarely do. I'm usually pretty patient, externally patient. And I set off this text. I was like, all right, I'm done. Like this is where we're at. Here's where we are. You have 1 week to finish paying off the 75% balance. That's just it. You need to figure that out. And he came back and was like, totally, I understand. I'll pay it on Mother's Day. Great. So we'll see what happens. But it was this.
Well,
I don't know
crossed.
what I'm gonna do if he doesn't. Hopefully he's not listening to this. I don't know
pay it
what
on
I'm
Mother's
gonna do. He has an estate sale that's on Saturday, I guess, from next week, and whatever. So he's supposedly supposed to get a bunch of money from the estate sale, whatever that means. I don't care anymore. I'm done listening to him. I'm done. But
you just kind of want to be done with it.
I don't think I've ever sent off a stronger worded like it felt the most Karen-y that I've maybe ever felt. It felt maybe like how you felt, Patrick, after all of the loyal subject stuff, where you were just like done, incensed. That's kind of where I'm at.
That's the only time in my life I would use that word.
Yeah.
I do feel like, though, these are situations where it's earned, and you're only a Karen if you're doing it in an unearned situation.
Definitely don't feel like I'm like
this
out of bounds
this guy is
for,
like way late paying you, like, and even if he's like paying you in smaller installments than he hoped or something, like to give you
and then he
like
could have made this so much easier on himself by just doing like
every time you talk, throw in another $20 even, like
$200 here, like, and now I'm like, now the balance is due. It's way past due. I even said in the text, like, I've tried to be fair, but that point is far gone. Like we're past the point of fair at this point. I don't care how you do it. You can rob a bank. You can take out a personal loan. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. You need to pay me the rest of my money by in a week, basically. So
Well,
anyway,
I really hope so.
Patrick, I said that I had a gift for you because tomorrow is your birthday, but it's only kind of a gift. because you were so gracious while we were at Creative South to give away a small trinket that you have, or that you had from Park Street Pizza in Ohio, and I told you that you could have one of mine. So here's your pin.
Oh, it's so cute.
Can
Gotta
I
put
be
the
honest
backer
with
on it.
Well, I will be. You said, because in the moment he didn't want to. Okay, so the story is the guy that did this art. His name is
Jeremy Slagle.
Because I almost said the wrong name and that'd have been bad. Very nice guy who I've met multiple times and should not forget his name.
Correct.
But he did not know that the pin of his logo existed, and I was wearing one on my jacket when when we ran into him.
You literally walked up and went, Jeremy. You pointed to it.
Yeah. And that's when he was like, whoa, they have pins of those. I didn't know. And so I said, okay, well, you can just have it because you did the artwork. And if I was in your position,
I would want
and someone got like a gold Mondo pin, I would have wanted it. Right.
Yeah.
So
theoretically, like just as an idea of a story.
But
not
he
an
said
actual
no.
story.
He said no. And so Andrew, to help, I guess, sweeten the pot, was like, don't worry, Jeremy. I had 2 more at home. I thought you were just lying. I didn't think you really had more of them. I thought you were just saying that to get him to take the pin.
Patrick, I was lying.
Okay,
This
so
is
I
the
was
one.
right.
This
And
is
you
the-
bought a
this-
new one.
Well, they don't. You can't buy them anymore.
Oh, you are
Oh.
giving me your one of one.
Yeah, I'm giving you my pin. Yes.
Oh, I fully accept. That makes
Aw.
me want it more.
This means
Knowing
more
that
to
he
you
can't
than the
have
one
it
you had.
again. Yeah, that's so funny.
Yes, I would much rather have yours than have mine.
Yeah. No, yeah. This is. I'm gonna package it up.
Ah,
and
so I did read that. So I did socially read that situation correctly.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So, but I also knew that he.
Doc, don't tell Jeremy. Don't let
had
him know
I-
that that's what happened.
Had I not stepped in, he wouldn't have taken it from you, and I knew that you wanted him to
Yeah.
have it. So I'm like,
No,
I
he
need
should
to-
have it because
Yeah.
he designed it. So
I would
like,
feel
yeah.
crappy. I would feel crappy
If he didn't end up with one.
if that was the case. Yes.
But for as much as I wanted him to have my pin, even more do I want your pin.
yeah, this pin's for you.
I love it.
So I will get it. I'll get it packaged up, and I think I'll see you relatively soon. I'll bring it with me, and you'll have a pin. to
Yeah.
share.
Well, basically, I'll get to tell him myself. Thank you.
Thanks,
so
Doc.
kind.
Yeah, it's so good.
Just a friendly boy you are. Yeah. So I'll just keep going. I'll keep the
Yeah,
gravy
keep
train
going,
going.
keep going. That's what I was thinking.
I also got this thing for Christmas. I got it for Christmas, and I think I showed it to you in the box. But I have assembled it, and it's really cool. So I got this Lego set. It's like the Disney 100 celebration Lego set, and it is a movie camera, and it's an old style movie camera. I'm going to show it to you in a second. But it comes with like minifigs, and it gives you like the multi-plane camera that you build where you place the figures. You know, a lot of these bigger sets, they have like a spot where you can stick the figures off on the
Yeah.
side. This one
For
is the
those
multi-plane.
that don't know what a multiplane is, can you explain that just very briefly?
The multi-plane camera was the camera that was designed and innovated by Walt Disney and his animation team back in the days of Snow White. So like you get that plane in Snow White where you can see in animation like the backgrounds are coming
Yeah.
into and out of focus at different depths. That was never you couldn't do that in animation prior to that. So there's actually multiple levels. The camera shoots
Like
from the
physical
top
layers,
down.
yeah.
Physical
Yeah.
layers. It's a 2-story camera. Physical glass layers where the different celluloid layers were put in different places, and each layer had an ability to rise and lower, so you could create these different depths of field. So the minifig area, it comes with Walt, Mickey, Minnie, Dumbo, and Bambi. And they all sit on top of a multi-plane camera. I guess I could have brought that over here. That's actually the easier thing to show. But the main event is this guy right here. So I'm going to show you. Here's the camera.
Oh, that's super cool.
Right.
I'm going to try to do this in a way that doesn't break it. But if you can see, it's got the turn crank where you can shoot the
I
film.
like
It's
that
got
the thing at the top is 100 with the canisters.
Yes,
That's cool.
the film canisters
Yeah.
are a 100, and then the film strip, like the camera, has film strip coming out of it, and each each piece of the film is a different animated film. See that?
That's cool.
Yeah, like a different cell.
Oh, yeah, I see like Robin Hood and Little Mermaid.
And it is translucent. Like this,
Oh, that's
it
really
actually
cute.
feels like a film.
They're like Lego versions of those, which is even cuter.
Yeah, and then the tripod is like a wooden tripod with like the little, the twisty like rise and lower knobs. Really, really nice. But Becca and Cooper got this for me, and I think Becca's mom. The three of them got this for me for Christmas, and they also got me this special lighting kit to go into it. And so we installed the
That
lighting
is bright.
kit.
Oh, that's cool.
Look at that.
That's
Look
really
at this.
cool.
And the camera flickers. Do you see that? Like the
Yeah,
film
yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
flickers.
It's a super solid effect. I mean,
That's
it genuinely
really, really,
looks
really
like.
cool.
Well, it
Yeah.
looks like you
Like
would
the
see
projection,
from a
yeah.
projector. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
And let me see if I can open this while we're doing this. Whew, this is going to be tricky. Yeah, I'm going to turn this around.
On
Because
camera while it's lit up and flashing
Right.
in your eyes. Like
It's not just a camera from the outside, but when you open it up, if you open up the side panel, you can see
Yeah.
into Walt's studio,
that's cute.
his desk, and he has a drawing of Steamboat Willie. But he can sit at his desk, and his like little drawing desk inside of
That's
the
very
where the
cool.
canister would go. So, or where the mechanics would go. So, really cool set. And this is battery powered, so I can like literally leave it on the shelf like this, and let it run if I wanted to. So, anyway, if you've never gotten one of those lighting kits, first of all, they are a little tricky. You've got to do a lot of wiring. It's not just like sticking.
I have to
sticking
admit,
Legos
I
on.
looked into this for the like Rivendell set I had, and I was like, that is way more complicated than I wanted it to be.
It was, and you test all of the pieces at the beginning. Like you have to like do a quick wire up to make sure that all the pieces work before you jump in.
Yeah.
We did that, everything worked, and then when I got everything assembled and was putting in the final plug, nothing came on, and I was devastated. I literally said to Cooper, "We're gonna pause on this. We're gonna come
I
back
have
to this
to
later
step
because
away,
This
yeah.
is canceled. It's over. We're done. No more fun.
Disappointing. But
yeah, I get that though.
I was able
Good
to
way to handle
bypass.
it.
I think one of the circuit boards that would allow you to plug it in if you wanted to plug it in
Yeah.
using USB, which I wouldn't have wanted to do anyway because that would just make it a little bit more cumbersome. That was not working. So all I did was I kind of did a little bit of minor engineering in my mind and bypassed that, pulled that piece off, and was able to make it work with just the battery pack.
Sure.
I think the battery pack was intended to just help you figure out that it's working. But now it's mobile because I have it connected to the battery pack.
And now
So
it's permanent.
now it's permanent. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a really cool thing. If you ever get an opportunity to do one of these lighting packs with your Lego set, I recommend it. It's really, really neat. It adds a lot of life to a Lego set.
And for your set, by the way, Lauren, Film Dispenser, who big fan of yours, has
Yeah.
actually installed that lighting kit. So if
Oh,
you're
nice.
interested, he could let you know what it was like.
Yeah. At this point, I think I'm just going to let it be. It's already built, and I don't want to take it apart because I already had to rebuild it twice, too, because my cat knocked it off the shelf. And so,
Oh my gosh.
that was really not as fun.
Is that the real
agree.
reason why your cat broke its tooth? Because you
No.
punched it?
So it's a long story. I don't want to, but he knocked it off the window because there was a cat outside and he went absolutely nuts. And I thought someone broke into the house because I just heard the smashing of Legos on the floor, which sounds like
not.
It sounds a lot like a
breaking.
window breaking.
Yeah. So I was terrified.
It's just a really and you run in there to see who's breaking in, and you step all over Legos, and it just exacerbates
This
the
is
situation.
very close to what happened.
So anyway, Lauren no longer has a cat.
Yeah, no cat, and she has permanent Legos embedded in her feet.
Yes, that's true.
The final thing I want to talk about is this place called Pop Stroke. Pop Stroke
yeah.
is
We have that here.
it is a Tiger Woods, I believe, started it, or he owns it. He has some.
that's correct.
Yeah, and it is an awesome miniature golf course. I say miniature golf because it's not putt-putt. There's no obstacles in like the traditional putt-putt sense. It is like basically having small It's like a little par 2, par 3 course that you go play. And much like Top Golf, they've got a bar area where you can order food and drinks. They'll bring it out to you. You can eat while you play. You can drink while you play, all this stuff. But it is 2 18-hole courses, one that is kind of a medium skill and then one that is a higher level skill with more elevation and more bunkers and things like that. Cooper is on the golf team, and his thing that he's incredible with driving. He's really, really good at the approach. He can chip. At one of his tournaments a couple of weeks ago, he chipped in twice. Yeah, I think he chipped in from off the green, chipped in.
Wow.
So he's great at chipping. He struggles with putting. So we went to.
That's crazy because chipping is way harder.
I know. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you'd think. So he just needed to work on his putting. So we went yesterday, not knowing what to expect, thinking like a traditional like putt course. You pay for. You might pay $15 for 18 holes, and at the end, if you want to play again, you go buy another ball because they go into you usually lose your ball at the end and at the whole, at the final hole. It was very different for Pop Stroke. Pop Stroke, you pay for a day pass, and you can play as much as you want all day, and you get to keep your ball. Their balls are tailor-made balls that are custom branded for Pop Stroke. Really nice stuff. If you pay for their pro subscription, which is what I did, you can get unlimited golf all month. You just come back whenever you want and you can play, and you get a tailor-made putter that you can play with
that's
without
cool.
any additional charge. If you're like one of the pro, if you're on their pro subscription, but we played. They have 2 18-hole courses, like I said, and they have like a challenge hole, which is like if you have a tie and you got to do like a face off, you can play this challenge hole, and that's it. And then some general like putting green stuff, like where you can just kind of warm up. Cooper and I played about 100 holes of golf.
Holy crap! So you played
That's
at
too many.
least twice each
We
course?
played each
Yeah.
course 2 times,
and then another time just.
and then we
'cause.
played one of the courses multiple the holes. We'd play them over again because we were waiting for the people in front of us.
Yeah.
So we would just go back and we'd play them again. I was not anticipating being out there for 4.5 hours. And now you won't be able to see it because the camera lighting is good enough. My neck is roasted. I have not been sunburned in, like maybe 10 years. And my neck feels like I've never been in the sun before. Like, it's like I had no idea what to expect. I feel like such an idiot. But Pop Stroke is a really cool place.
Yeah.
If you have one in your area, I 100% suggest you do it. It is a great
I think
day
ours
activity.
is indoors, from what I understood. So I definitely thought it was more of a miniature golf course, but
Yours
I'll
is
have to check it out.
indoors.
I
That's
think so
interesting.
because it's downtown, but I'll have to check
okay.
it out.
Indoors would be really nice because then you could literally make it a whole day thing and not have
Yeah.
to worry about the elements. It was a beautiful day yesterday, so it was great for us. But my goodness, it was a really cool experience. Patrick, if you still lived here, we would be for sure spending. You would have gotten a pro membership, and we would be going a couple.
I wish I
time,
did
yeah.
though. I would. It is. I'm not gonna talk about weather because I'm with a birthday coming up. I'm ultra aware of my age right now and how bland I am as a
52.
person.
Everyone talks about the weather.
52.
But,
You didn't think you'd make it,
oh
but you got
my
here.
gosh! I wish I was in Texas right now.
Is it cold?
It's not cold. It has rained every day for weeks now.
No,
and
it's super
it's
nice
like
here.
worse for disc golf because unlike golf courses, which are beautifully manicured,
Yes.
disc golf courses
They're run by
people-
someone's uncle.
yeah, who, by the way, no one has seen for several years.
No.
And
He's buried somewhere on that course for sure. Like that, yeah,
they're
there's
grown
That's like
up.
part of the
they're-
appeal of old like miniature golf courses, though. Like they're weird.
The
like
problem is when it rains,
it's like a freak show. Yeah.
it is like the most uncomfortable, disgusting experience to like wade through a disc golf course. And so I feel stuck right now. I feel so
Yeah.
stuck until it'll like dry out. So
I get that. Yeah, and then it's not like you can just go out the next day because they're not built for like water, like golf courses. A legit golf course is built for the water to drain off and has like there's a system underneath the course so that it helps it dry quicker and makes it playable. Whereas these disc golf courses are just someone's field. And you get standing water and mosquito beds and just crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Plus,
making this
by the
sound
way,
so fun.
You would
still
love
dealing
it.
still dealing with poison ivy from the last time we went out and played, which has been like 3 weeks now.
Still for real.
Yes.
Wow. That's
Crazy.
uh
I
That's
had no
impressive.
idea that it was this persistent or that we're just this bad at showering.
I think it's the latter.
Well,
Well, mine didn't spread as much as Mackenzie's. I think that was by happenstance. I put a Band-Aid on it so I wouldn't scratch it, not knowing that it would spread with whatever it was. And I think I got lucky because otherwise I could have been in the same situation as Mackenzie, and that would have been a bad news day. So
Oh no.
it is true. By the way, in chat, they're talking about Holy Moly and Puttery. There's a
yeah,
Holy
sorry.
Moly
Tom
in
lives
Austin,
in town
I
too,
believe.
and he was pointing out that the pop stroke that we have here is in Katy. It's a different place that I was thinking of that's indoors.
Oh, I
okay,
see, yeah.
So the
Yeah.
so the pop stroke is outside.
So yes.
Okay.
But there
Most
is a place
likely,
in
like-
Austin that is also, and don't get me wrong, there's like a one of the par threes, but there's a place in Austin, I think it's a Holy Moly, that you eat there. So they have like tables and booths you can sit down and eat, and then during your
they-
meal, you can also stand up and go play mini golf.
Oh, I went to
That-
a place here called the Puttery, and they have like drinks you can order while you're playing that they'll like bring out to you to whatever hole you're at, and then also they have like a restaurant you can sit and eat at like
Same.
before or after you're golfing.
This all sounds just like
Yeah.
pop stroke.
Yeah.
And they have like a
but I
DJ
love
at night.
this. And I know other sports are doing this. I mean, there's like there's the pickleball and chicken place in San Antonio that
Yep,
does
chicken
this.
and pickle.
Chicken and pickle. Yeah, I knew it
think
was a
that
pretty
we
simple
have
name.
something like that here too.
You of course have like Topgolf, but there's
There's a place
feel like
that I
we're
just
seeing
saw
more of
yesterday
this.
after we were at Pop Stroke for the
This all
most of the
started
day.
because of axe throwing.
we went to the PGA Superstore, which is right down the road from where I live, and
Yeah.
I did not know this existed until I stumbled across it a couple of weeks ago. So Cooper and I went to the PGA Superstore, where he then did free digital driving for like 40 minutes, maybe. Like he did like they had like the wall,
The
where you
simulator
can-
thing?
Yeah, the simulator. And they've just got stall after stall of the things where you can do that. But while we were there, there's a place right next to the PGA Superstore that's called Dill Dinkers Pickleball. And it's like that. Like you go, you can play,
listen.
and you can eat.
we just need to make the first ever Topgolf, but for disc golf. And so we'll bring people, like you'll just have like stacks of disc golfs. We'll have drivers and mid-range of putters. We'll just have like huge oversized baskets out there, and we'll fetch them. And
You just got to figure out the how we get the RFID stuff on them so they can
someone
be
already
geotagged.
makes that. There's already a system that has a chip that you put in your disc, and it will tell you your throw speed, your throw angle, your distance, your speed
Perfect.
for actual discs. So we just have to feed that in. We just license that technology. That's what we need to do.
I like it.
We need to invest a lot of money into a
Yeah.
sport that very few people enjoy.
And that most people don't want to spend a lot of money on.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And then we charge them more for it.
I mean, if it was like a whole Top Golf experience, I feel like you would have more luck because, like,
At least 10 people.
yeah, because you get to drink and have food while you do it, which is, I think, more of the appeal than actual Top Golf in most cases.
On the money side of things, Pop Stroke, or Top Golf, you pay like $50 or $60 for a bay for an hour,
Yeah.
I think, something like that. And you can have as many people playing as you want at that bay, up to like 6 or 7, I think. At Pop Stroke, you pay $30 for a day pass, and you can play as long as you want. You can leave and you can come back. You can
That's
stay
nice.
there and just hang out. Like we paused in the middle to eat lunch and then continued playing. So like there's real value in what they do, and then you get to take the balls home and you can keep the balls. And so it's pretty rad. So I 100% recommend that. Patrick, what else has your week looked like besides rainy and crappy?
Yeah, so I had 2 things to shout out. One, I did have a 10-year wedding anniversary.
Whammy.
Whammy anniversary.
Whammy
Which
anniversary.
is the diamond anniversary. So you want to guess what I got Mackenzie? I
Something
didn't get her.
shiny.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
I was going to get her, because we live on the river, I was going to get her a diamond brand kayak. that was going to be my shoe in, or my
You
shoehorn
deserve to be
in.
punched for that.
Yes.
Mackenzie, you get a free one if that
She
happens.
will get her diamond eventually. Okay, she'll get it eventually. But for now, we didn't. So what we did is we went and saw Hamilton. Hamilton right now, the off-Broadway, they have 2 tours. They have the Philip cast and the Angelica cast. We were going to see the Angelica cast. I want to say specifically, it was coincidental, but Justin Sargent, who we've had on the show, is in the Angelica cast. He plays King George III. So it was this kind of, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was excited to go out to my anniversary, first and foremost. As a bonus, we can maybe run into King George, say hey to Justin, talk for a bit, that whole thing.
Yeah. Maybe get a chance to go backstage and see some of the stuff. Yeah.
Chance to see some things a little bit closer, etc. So I was very excited to make that connection. So we get there, we're sitting in our seats. I texted you, Andrew, because I don't have Justin's number.
Yeah.
And I said, tell Justin I'm here and I'm ready to see him.
Mm-hmm.
And you shot that text over to him, and he let you know that...
His response was, no!
Yeah, because he's at like a week-long performance in like Jersey or something.
No.
So the New Jersey Philharmonic Orchestra is doing a week-long it's Led Zeppelin concert, and he's the singer.
Oh, that's cool.
Perfect
He's
for
the
him.
Yes.
That's
Quite a
super
great fit.
cool.
He's the vocalist for this thing, and it's just a week-long thing in New Jersey. And it just so happened to start the day that Patrick and Mackenzie went to see the show, and it was
Yes. So I had to see the backup King George III, who I don't know who he is. I have no idea which person he is.
Some guy who played King
on
George.
one hand, I want to say he was garbage because I didn't get to see Justin.
yeah.
But on the other hand, they're also coworkers. I don't want to like disparage him. He was fine. He was fine.
It's just the understudy. You can
It
say
was
whatever you want.
disappointing. The show though was very good. Genuinely, if you get a chance to see the show, you haven't seen it, and if you have any feelings about like off Broadway not being as good as like the touring cast not being as good as I say off Broadway, but the touring cast not being as good as the Broadway cast, it's great. It's fantastic. Go see it. It's awesome.
Oftentimes, a lot of the touring cast ends up
It's like
being
some chunk of them, yeah.
either ends up going and being on the Broadway run, or they come from the Broadway run over to do some of the touring stuff. You might not get the Lin-Manuels and the Mirandas, but you're
He's
gonna get
literally like
maybe
the director also though. Like
Right,
that's a very
sure.
different situation
Yeah.
than like the guy who plays any other character, literally.
Yeah.
Like
And just a fun fact for everybody here: the reason I clarified, I didn't mean off Broadway, I meant touring. Broadway, off Broadway, that actually speaks to the size of the venue. So when you hear that something's a Broadway performance and off Broadway, like an off Broadway, that's actually talking about how many people the venue actually holds, which is not the same as the touring cast versus the Broadway cast. So my apologies for using the wrong term. I'm not completely uncultured. I am partially uncultured. So it was great.
hey,
Saw
I didn't
that.
know that,
a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again.
Yeah, exactly. Dinner, all those things. Great night. Crazy. I told you like weather here's been crazy. Mackenzie had to walk 3 feet to the door. I dropped her off to go to dinner. It was raining. She took the umbrella to get from the car across the sidewalk into the door. I did not have an umbrella and had to stand and pay for parking while it was like pouring rain. I was wet the rest of the evening. When we left Hamilton, 4 hours later, I was still like damp.
You easily have 3 times the body mass, like the amount of
Gallons of
square
water
footage.
just seeped in just everywhere.
Just
I feel like I would have
logistics.
bought like a t-shirt just so that I could have drier clothes.
I looked bad enough that we're in like a nice restaurant, right? And
Sir, I'm
Mackenzie's
sorry, we're
like-
gonna have to ask you to leave.
Mackenzie's like,
Oh no.
just use your napkin real quick to wipe your head off. Like, like she was willing for
gotta
me
go,
to commit
like-
that social like atrocity in order for me to not look the way I looked in that moment.
She didn't even tell you to go to the bathroom to do it. She's like,
No, she was just like,
you need to
"Take
do
Yeah,
your
just like,
napkin
you
out
gotta
of
do-
lap
take care of
and
this
rub
immediately."
it through your hair.
Has
in
We have
front of
extra
all
napkins
these
at our
people.
table. Go now. Go, go, go.
Okay, so that was the anniversary.
hilarious.
And then tomorrow's my birthday. So when you listen to this podcast, it will have passed. She's so proud in chat. That
I
she did
did.
that.
She was so happy.
She's so excited about that. But tomorrow's my birthday.
Kenzie, I hope you took a picture of Soggy Patrick.
No.
have
But I
pictures
wanted
of
to
something
show you the 2 things that I got. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure more is on the way. But one is Andy
hold your
Dugan
breath.
is an Andy Dugan.
It says not
is
your
an-
birthday yet. You shouldn't have that many presents.
I know. Andy Dugan is an artist. He lives here in Chattanooga, and he's illustrated for people like IDW and I think like Dark Horse and other people. And he illustrated Young Jedi Adventures, which is this right here.
Oh, that's cool. This
And
was
so-
all over Star Wars Celebration, let me tell you.
Free Comic Book Day was yesterday at the local comic book shop, and he was there. I think he like works there, or like he's like a partner there or something. But he signed the comic and he did a remark. He drew
Fun.
Yoda on the bottom of the comic.
That's
so this is
cool.
a comic that he illustrated. He did the cover art and the interior, and it's signed and remarked by him.
That's cool.
We should maybe try to talk to Andy sometime.
Hey,
It
if you
strikes
know
me
how we
that-
can reach him,
I do not know.
Okay.
But awesome gift.
he'll
that
hear
piece-
this. He'll
And
reach
then the
out.
second piece, I have no information about this. So once
Great.
I play it, then I'll actually come back with a review. But Tiny Epic Dungeons.
Oh, yeah.
Is the
Ooh.
other thing. Andrew, have you had a chance to play this?
I've not played it. I've played Epic Dungeons. I've not played the Tiny Epic Dungeons. I think
Okay.
it's fun from what I've
I
seen.
mean, it looks. So I don't know anything about it. Just looking at it, looks like a dungeon crawler, and it looks a bit like maybe a build as you go type system in terms of like map tiles, all very small, 8 characters. So I'm assuming you can play with 8 people, but I don't know playtime. I know it says it's done in 2 phases, but I don't know the phases.
you build the dungeon. You build the dungeon, I think, and then you go through it.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm very excited for it. So I did want to shout
Cool.
it out that it exists and that I have it. It was very highly recommended by people at this comic book shop. But once I get a chance to play it, then I'll actually.
They
review
also
it.
sell it at the comic book shop, right?
Of course.
So
yes.
if it's terrible, they just upsold you. Is all that it was. Do you have up to 8 people you would play that with over there? Or?
I have 2. No, I mean I don't have 8 at
Okay.
all. So, but
I didn't know if Jonathan's like adventuring party would be.
oh, that's a good point. Honestly, I could probably hook in this adventuring party, and I probably could put together a whole group. So,
I was like, that's
and then
me.
the last piece,
Sure, that's the one.
I'm not
Don't
not
talk to me like I'm not
reviewing
here.
this. I'm not reviewing this. I was asked to pass along a message, and that is that Neil Patrick Harris has boxes, box 1 and box 2. These they're like puzzle boxes, and not like escape room boxes. It's not like that, but it's a series of puzzles you have to solve and complete, and they're very it's very unique and kind of dense, and
remember
it's,
you guys
it's
talking
interesting
about
how
this
it's all
before.
like packed in. That said, box 2. Let me say this another way. If you've not done one of these, do box 1.
Yes.
Box 2 was unfortunately a
if you
bit of a
want to do
letdown.
both of them, start with box 2 and then go to box 1.
That way you can be really impressed by box 1. Now, I will say for younger people, or this is going to sound weird, but if you want maybe a more on the rails and maybe more guided, obvious experience, box 2 is that. I think box 1 maybe is a little bit more open, but
It requires a
box
little
1
bit more
is-
skill. This one requires less skill.
Yeah. So, and the final puzzle, I will say I found the final puzzle infuriating. Not getting the solve, but just what the solve was. So, I don't know.
agree.
But I honestly, like, I would say spend the money on box 1 if you haven't done it. I can't recommend box 2 knowing that box 1 exists.
So box 2,
I remember like you guys loved box 1. Like it sounded really, really cool.
we did. And when box 2 came out, the thing that I was most excited about it, well, one, I had the anticipation of it being like box 1. But box 2, if you're not aware, Patrick, that was the packaging was designed by our friend Clark Orr.
Sure. No, yeah, exactly. And it's printed by Theory 11. I mean,
By
it's all
Theory 11s. It's
the
all- like,
packaging, the design, it's beautiful. It's the people that I love.
yeah, Neil Patrick Harris, like great at puzzles and mystery game things.
Not so much at birthday cakes, but everything else. And
It's just it's not quite as good as box 1, and I think that was the takeaway. But all the
that's it.
components are
Just-
there.
Yeah. So just
It's
want to
not
leave you
the
on a
sum
low
of its
note.
parts. That's what we say.
That's what it
Sure.
is. But that's everything from my side. Lauren, you wow.
Have you
It's
done
been a
anything
minute.
since we
No.
last talked?
Nothing. So I've been gone for a long time because I went to Japan.
Yes.
Pretty much all I'm going to talk about today is Japan and stuff that I did in Japan. So I went with 7 of my friends. Tom, who's in the chat, was one of them.
Hey.
It was so much fun. It was awesome. It is a little difficult to navigate with 7 people in Japan. Everything is very small there. There was more than one time where like our group became the entire restaurant, like 7 of us, that's the maximum amount of seating they had, or like us and like one other person, or like sat separately. But we made it work. It was really fun because we had a big group. We could stay in like Airbnbs and stuff, which I think was also nice because like I like doing that when you're out of town because like I feel like you get to see more of like how people really live like normally and everything. Like you're in like a normal neighborhood and a normal house for the most part, and so like that's fun. And it was nice since we had so many people. It was a lot easier to find ways to stay together that way. So it was great. We were there for 10 days. I do wish it like in hindsight that we had a little longer. Like mainly because when we did Star Wars Celebration, which we kind of planned this whole trip around, that was definitely that everything just took longer there than I expected. So thinking that we would do like half days there didn't end up working out. So I missed out on a lot of things that I would have liked to do in Tokyo, but that's okay. Can always go back, But honestly, it was just like a really awesome trip. Like, Japan is so much fun. Like, once you get there, like the food is amazing and surprisingly inexpensive for the most part. Like, which I was like really pleasantly surprised by. Just because like when you get Japanese food in America, it's pretty expensive usually, but it's at least half the price. And alcohol is really, really cheap. Like we went to a baseball game in Osaka, and the cocktails we were drinking there were $5.50. Like, so that's like,
did you pick up
absolutely nuts to
smoking
me.
while you were there?
No.
She continued smoking while she was
Yes.
She just smoked different things.
No, I was like, that's very not allowed there, but yeah. And there's like a lot. It's interesting because like a lot of times when you went into bars, you would buy like a time limit, and then they give you like drinks unlimited, like in the time limit and stuff. Or like, there's a lot of different setups for bars there, but it was a very fun experience.
Wait, can you clarify something?
Mm-hmm.
You're only allowed to you can only have so many drinks in a certain period of time. Like you have to.
No,
wait
like
for
you
time to
get like
lapse
an
or-
hour, and you could drink as many drinks as you want.
1 hour free for all.
Oh, that's the opposite of
Yeah.
what I was thinking they were.
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
That, what's that movie where it's lawless for an hour?
Yeah, this is
well,
the
for an
I know what you're
Purge.
talking about.
This is
Yeah,
the
the
drinking
Purge.
purge.
Yeah.
Ironically, what you will do after your hour, but
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. Okay.
So there was a lot of drinking involved in this trip.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, the food was definitely like a huge highlight. We did a food tour. That was really awesome. And like, that's always nice because you get like an inside, person with inside knowledge to like take you around and everything. That was really cool. We did like a Wagyu beef dinner. That was like absolutely incredible. That was so good. All just the sushi and ramen, and like we just got like takoyaki off the street that are like so much better than any that I've ever had like anywhere here. It was just awesome in that respect. We did a lot of different things. We were in Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto, just like a few days in each of the cities. We did a lot of different things. Like Osaka, we were in like the longest. We did a lot of like shopping there, and we went to the like downtown like food markets and stuff. That's where we did the food tour. We did the Osaka Aquarium, which was like really, really cool. I think it's the like first or second largest aquarium in the world. They have a tank that's big enough to have 2 whale sharks.
Is
Which
it
is like
Osaka
insane.
Aquarium?
'Cause
it should
no,
be.
that would be really good.
If not, they missed the boat on that.
I forget the like exact name for it, but like if you look up like Osaka Aquarium, it will like come up. It's really cool. They're like the only aquarium I think that has whale sharks, which are like absolutely like massive. I think they sold us that their tank was 200,000 tons or something like that. Like absolutely insane. Like the way that this aquarium was structured was you go like in paths that wrap around this big giant tank in the middle, kind of.
Like
it was
silo.
Yeah, and then like on the outside they have more like different animals and stuff. Like you go in and you go straight to the top, and then you like work your way down. So
Rad.
it was really like well designed space and everything. That was really cool. And we got to go do this like behind the scenes tour where we saw like the like above the like aquarium where they have the whale sharks and the rays and stuff, and they had guides who would like answer all your questions and stuff. It was very, very cool. That was really, really awesome. We went to a baseball game. That was super fun. We did like baseball's huge in Japan. And so we went to one of their games. It was so much fun. It's like way goofier in some ways. Like they have like a full like dance squad that looks like they're dressed from like Final Fantasy or like some kind of anime, and they do like these really crazy fun dance routines to like, you know, hype the team up and everything. It's boys and
like
girls.
In the 7th inning stretch, or like
yeah,
just
like before the
always?
game they did a couple of songs like at the 7th inning stretch, you know, like at the end the team won, so they came out and did this whole thing. They have like cheering sections where they have like basically volunteers who bring in like brass instruments and are playing like marching band kind of style like
Volunteers?
songs.
Like it's just open
It's just the
seating for
people
if
that
you
are
bring in-
there. Like I do not think that it's like they paid a band to be there to do this. Like a band shows up from made of fans and sits in each section.
Do you think that they pay for a ticket and then when they're there they can go to this section, or do you think that they get to come and be there
I'm
for free?
positive that they choose to be seated in this section. I don't know all the technicalities of how this works, but it was very fun to see like how involved the crowd was, like because of the musicians and stuff. Like it was a really cool experience. Like honestly, like that just it really felt like up like the whole time. Like everybody was into it.
Do they play "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" at the 7th inning stretch, or is it different?
No, they played different songs.
I didn't know if that
we were waiting for all the stars that or the the Texas one. Stars at Night are big and bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Yes, thank you. I was like, that's not the name of it, but we were like singing that anyway and doing the. But it was that was a really fun thing that I wasn't like expecting to be quite as fun as it was, but it was great. Definitely would go again.
Did you go to one of the Texas honky tonks?
Oh, I didn't get to go, but Tom did. Tom went with
Okay.
some of our other friends. That was something that they got to do while we were at Star Wars
There is
Celebration.
a subculture
Yeah.
that likes Texas honky tonks, and they try
Yeah.
to recreate that like
Howdy,
atmosphere.
partner.
Yeah, it's seriously though like was like a saloon, and they had like
Yeah.
American flag stuff everywhere, and like they served
But I'm
chili
pretty
and
sure
like
it's like
American
a
food.
rockabilly Texas.
Yeah, much more, I would
thing,
think,
like
rock-
Is everybody
Rockabilly.
ready for their
Yeah.
140-ounce steaks? That's what I'm picturing.
But they say that all in Japanese because like it's not like as
I'm not going to
American
try
as
that.
you would think.
Can you
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
I'm
I
not
would
gonna
not
try-
at all.
Yeah.
Well,
My hands are
But
staying
yeah, I really wish
firmly
we could
planted.
have gone to that, but it looked like a lot of fun. Yeah, we went to the Nintendo Museum. That was really cool. I thought it would be maybe kind of more like Universal is, but it's a lot more like this is the history of Nintendo in this museum. But it's still really, really cool. Like the museum is really like the whole top floor is basically this like just all these glass cases that kind of go in like a big spiral, and they are like a history of every single game Nintendo has made back to when they were a trading card company.
Yeah.
So it's like those games, board games, toys that they made, and moving into the systems and like the history of all of it. And they have like some walls are like, here's all the Mario games and how they branch out, like from like, like here's Mario Kart and then like the spin-off of that, or like all those kind of things. Like it was really, really cool. And they had a Switch 2 there on display. So I got to see one in person, which was cool. They are huge, like way, way too big. And then the downstairs part, like when you sign in, you get like coins on your card, and then they have all these like interactive arcade games basically that you can play. They had like giant controllers that you have to have two people, like one person is doing the steering and one is doing the buttons for like N64 and Super Nintendo and all that stuff, and you could play different games. You could like they just had like a room where they had like TV set up with all the controllers, and you could play different games on all the old systems. They had like batting cages, a shooting gallery, this fun like grabby ball game. I don't really know how to describe it other than
this
that.
is all at the
Like,
Nintendo Museum.
yeah, this is all at the Nintendo Museum. Like it's a fully like there's one floor that's like here's history time and now here's playtime, and you can just stay there till you run out of coins. But it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. And then we wound up in like a really good sushi restaurant like right afterwards. That was just like again, it's like we're like what place is closest and open, and it still wound up being like absolutely incredible.
So okay, but did you go with any places that, from a food standpoint, that were I have to experience this place, or for the most part, were you just trying to do the thing that you just said it's close, it's affordable. We'll just pop in there, and then
It
our
was
experience
more
is kind
like
of like
I want to
random.
try this type of food, not like I have to go to
Okay.
this restaurant and have this version of it, or I don't want it.
see.
You know, I think that would have made the trip really difficult if we'd been that specific. But luckily, I got recommendations from so many people ahead of time that we had like a
Yeah.
pretty robust like list. And people in Japan are very serious about like Google reviews, so like you can use those pretty honestly as like a barometer. If it has a good rating, then you're probably pretty safe there. And like it was just lots of fun. I'm trying to think what else we did. Oh, I bought so many toys from the Gashapon machines. They're everywhere, and everything is tiny and cute and awesome. Like I got it fell off again, but I got this cute little
Broken.
T-Rex that I got like early on, and he was my like flat Stanley that we were taking pictures of everywhere. I love it because he's like very posable, even though it was
Yeah,
like a
like
really cheap
ultra
little toy.
posable.
Yeah, like his tail moves, his legs move, like his hands don't move, but they're T-Rex
His
hands.
feet fall off, which is fun.
Yeah, just that's the only thing that fell off, but it came like that, like all in pieces that I had to put together. So I may have just like not quite got it on totally correctly. I bought a bunch of tiny things for him to play with. He has an art set. Tom got a couch for him. He has a little rice bowl and stuff. I just bought a ton of these little toys.
Is that what the phrase Tamagotchi means? Tamagotchi that couch?
When your friend Tom buys you stuff, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this one was from the aquarium. It's really cool. It's a like ray, but it looks like it's like carved out of wood. I got like this weird frog guy. This is only a few of them. I have so many more around my house. I just thought they were cool, and they're everywhere. And it's so cheap when you're just like, yeah, just throw some like 200 yen. What's up?
Did you get a chance to drive Mario Karts around Tokyo?
No, we did not get to do that, unfortunately.
Why?
We saw
What
them do it.
happened?
We saw
Why?
people
What
doing it, but
happened?
I really wanted to.
Every person
we
I
didn't
talked
book
to
it.
said Lauren is racing Mario Karts around Tokyo
I know, I'm
right now.
sad. We kind of like worked out the timing of it when we were there, and like we didn't make reservations soon enough, so we would have had to go like really early in the morning, basically, and like miss most of Star Wars Celebration stuff that we wanted to do. So it did not work out, but I still have my international driver's license if I
Okay.
decide to go back.
Sure, let's do
Hey.
it.
It's good for a year, so we can go do this
I was
before
gonna
it's
say,
too late.
hey, you never know, what may happen in the next few years. You may need that more permanently. So we'll just
Yeah.
okay.
I wanted to show off a couple of other silly things that I bought while I was there. We found
Lightning
like
round.
a Studio Ghibli store. This is really cool. It's a keychain. Christopher, he lights up.
Oh,
I love
fun.
it. This is from the Nintendo Museum. It's like the Zelda heart pin, but it's like a very nice
That's
quality one. It's
great.
really
Is it a
nice
pin?
and heavy. Yeah, it's a enamel pin. I really wish it had two
man.
posts. That is my only
Yeah.
complaint because it's really, really heavy. Like this.
Yeah.
Shit. It's like very
Broken.
three-dimensional. Like it's pretty thick.
Yeah.
So that was
Two
really
C's
cool.
thick.
Yes, exactly. We went to a 7-story stationery store in Tokyo that was really cool.
Oh, I
I
should
got
have
these
had you pick up some pens for me.
super
Dang
cute
it.
little rice ball stickers, tape. I did get some cool pens.
Stationery
Mount
is
Fuji.
wildly.
Oh my
it's
god,
crazy
it was
in
crazy.
Japan.
Also, it was funny because I was in the store looking for a 7-story stationery store, looking for one sketchbook without lines in it to give to a friend that we were meeting at Star Wars Celebration who asked for one.
Couldn't find it.
I found 2 in the entire store. A 7-story store. 2
You had to go
notebook
next-
options. 2 notebook options that didn't have lines in them in
you
the
had to
entire
go next
fucking
door
store.
to the
Yeah.
6-story art store.
Yeah.
The problem was
they
you were
have
in
a
the
floor
station-
that says art. It
the
should have been there.
The stationery store is for writing.
Yeah. But I will get to show you what the notebook that I got for her was for a little later because for my master category, I'm going to talk about Star Wars Celebration because that was a huge
Yes.
portion of what we did in Tokyo and the most pop culture-y part of the trip also. But yeah, it was so much fun. We ate a ton of food. We went shopping everywhere. Oh, we went to the Pokemon Center in Tokyo. That was really fun. I
Did you
wish
see
we'd had time
Mewtwo?
to... Yeah, they have like these big displays and everything. Or Tom went to the really, really big one that has the Mewtwo and everything. We went to the one that's near Tokyo Station.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
couple of different locations. It's still like a big one, but like we couldn't get into the cafe because of like you have to have reservations for everything. Also, we went during a really busy time because it was like Star Wars Celebration. It's also like with the cherry blossom season, so like a lot of tourists come for that, and it was the 2025 like World Expo in Osaka the time while we were there.
Oh my
so
gosh.
there's all these extra people there. Like
Does that
All
just hard to
wanting
see
to do the
groups of
things-
people with like different badges with different lanyards, and you're like, They're here for the World Expo.
Yes,
They're here for
actually,
the-
like at the end, it was like kind of like well, they're in different cities, but yes, we did see like people like going to the World Expo and stuff
The
that we like talked to.
convergence of all of these major events happening.
Yeah, which is part of the reason we like. I'm glad we didn't do Disney because the Venn diagram of people who like these things and who are going to be there, I think, is huge. So like, it would like I heard from a lot of people it was super super crowded while we were there, so it would have just been like the entire time we were there. That would have been like what we were doing. So like, I'm glad we got to do some other stuff, and hopefully we get to go back. Like, and Universal there looks really cool. So
Their Universal's pretty fantastic. Yeah.
yeah, and they have all the Mario stuff, which I haven't gotten a chance to see yet. So if we go back, I would like to do Universal maybe just a little more than Disney there. But people who went said it was really cool. They said all the Disney Sea stuff was like just like awesome. They were really
Disney
impressed.
Sea, I think, is like besides kind of the nostalgic stateside parks like Disneyland or Magic Kingdom, on so many lists. The second only to that is Disney Seas, because of how immersive that park is and how beautiful it is.
It sounded really cool, and I like saw pictures from like friends that I knew that were at Celebration and stuff. And I wish we'd had time to do all this stuff. I wish we had like another 2 weeks, honestly, to like double the trip. But unfortunately, couldn't fit everything in. It was awesome though. I like if you have a chance to go to Japan, just go. Don't look back. You will have fun doing anything there. Because like a lot of the stuff we didn't plan out. We just kind of stumbled into, or like we're like, oh, we want to go do karaoke. What's around us, or we want to go do this. Like we want to go shopping. Where can we go? And like had fun everywhere. It was awesome. Like it was really cool.
And here's the thing: if you don't want to fly, if for whatever reason that turns you off, Silver Sea Cruises has a cruise line that goes from Alaska to Japan. You can take that, and then you never have to get on a plane.
How much time and how much dollars?
Yeah, that seems like it would extend your trip quite a lot.
I think it's a week there and a week back, like a weekend on the ocean there, and then a week on the ocean back.
And then you're there for a week.
And then you come all the way back. Yeah,
you
the
basically
whole
have
month
a
off.
month.
Yeah, you take a month.
I think it's like $6,000.
But 2 weeks of travel and 1 week of vacation.
And it's wildly more expensive.
I didn't think the flight was that bad. Like I was worried about it, but it went by fast. I watched a lot of movies. A lot of movies.
Did they feed you?
Yeah, like constantly. A lot of the food was terrible though. I'll be
I will
honest. But
say,
I was
though,
in like the regular like economy class.
The cruise making that trip, the waters are normally really rough.
It was really bouncy on the way back.
Great. So there's that.
The air above those waters is also rough.
It's
like the
also
water,
really- it's all just
and it affects
good luck.
the airstream. Yeah,
I don't know if
it's bad.
sorry, I misunderstood, but
But I think any amount of that's just a long trip, right? So like any amount of distance, you wanna. Yeah, you gotta be willing to settle in for the long haul, regardless of whether you're taking. Can you take a train? Because I would take a train.
no.
Dang.
You can take a lot of trains once you're
But I
there.
will say, what I'm surprised about is
That's
with
what we
the
did.
cruise, there's all these like islands, so you're still stopping like you go a day, stop on an island, go
So you're
2
not
days.
on.
Like
Okay,
it's-
so you're not at sea. You port at multiple places.
yes,
Cool.
but you're following this like string of different
Cool.
islands.
I would
don't
do
know.
that. I would do that. Lauren, did you take heeded of my my advice to watch the Tokyo season of Jet Lagged before you went?
I didn't finish the whole thing, but I did watch like most of that. That
So
first
fun,
one.
right? And it probably helped
No,
you a
I'm
little
sorry.
bit
I
with
watched the
transit
whole
stuff.
first one. I just knew that there was like more.
There's multiple. Yeah.
That's what I
I
was
see,
thinking
yeah.
of. Sorry, but I did watch that like first.
Did it help
Flag
with
game.
with transit stuff? Like was
Honestly, Google Maps was the savior on
which is
travel.
what they use.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they use the same thing, but
But it did help me kind of like. I'm glad that I watched ahead of time because I was like nervous about the subways, but it's kind of just like New York, honestly. Like it's not that much harder. They have signs that are like
but cleaner.
Like the names are still written out in English. It's not like everything's in kanji and you have to try and like guess which characters match or whatever. So like it's not as hard as I expected because it'd be like we're looking for the Shinkasa line. They are all color coded. Like so it was a little less scary once you just get there
that's
and do
the bullet
it. Yeah.
train, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so. That was
you,
the only
jet lag.
train that I
Expert.
remembered. So
Thank you, jet lag.
Gosh.
Thanks,
Yeah.
jet lag. Good game.
All right.
Well, that's awesome.
yeah, it
and
was
I'm excited to hear.
so cool. Yeah, and I'm excited to talk about Celebration because that was
Yeah.
also lots of fun.
Well,
But,
how
yeah,
about this?
Japan,
How
very
about we
cool.
just how about we
Keep
end
going?
our around the table and head on over into our master category so we can get to it sooner than later.
Sweet.
That's it for our That's it for the chasm. What is it? Where are we at right now?
That's
That's
it
it
for the
for
around
our-
the table.
Yeah,
And next, we're gonna go to master categories.
we got there.
That's not going to cut together at all.
Do you want to try one more time?
Nope.
No.
That's what it is. The idea that we're doing this a day early does not mean that Patrick's going to spend more time in post-production.
No.
That is fair. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so I'll spare you all the work and just get started. Okay, so I'm just gonna. I have a ton of stuff that I bought there, and I'll try and go through everything as well. So we planned this whole trip around Star Wars Celebration, kind of knowing that it's like a pure lottery if you get tickets or not. So it was like, well, when they announced it, we're like, we'll see if we get tickets, and then we got the tickets, and we're like, okay, I guess we're really going to Japan. Okay, I guess this is like really, really happening. We bought plane tickets. So like that's like what we kind of planned this all around. That
How
was like
far
the
out
timing.
did you have for this planning? Like when did you know you were getting the
Quite a
tickets?
long time because we bought the tickets for Celebration at like the end of 2023. So we had like a whole year almost. And
Okay.
but we didn't like actually buy our tickets until like much closer,
Sure.
to like actually have it figured out. But it all worked out really well. I wanted to show the badges for Celebration because honestly the artwork is really cool. They kind of did like Japanese style, and this is the 3-day one, so it had Mando and Grogu, but like each of them had different ones for each of the different days. They had like Darth Vader. They had everyone because they have a whole bunch of them.
Are you
but
going
I
to throw that out now that you're home?
Hell no! I save all my badges.
I know.
I have a collection of every badge from every con I've ever been to. They're just too cool to throw away. But yeah, so that's just kind of to start with. It was really cool to see how they like incorporated like Japanese culture with everything at Star Wars Celebration. So they had like special food there that was like all like, you know, like onigiri that were like dark and light side, and you know, like they tried to like come like it was like a Yoda matcha latte, and like come up with ways to like kind of integrate the Star Wars into kind of everything there, but also like still keeping it Japanese. Like they had these like paper lantern displays that were like Mando and Grogu. There were a ton of cosplayers that did like a samurai version of like Darth Vader or
Sure.
or Darth Maul or Mando or
What you would
fill in the
expect.
blank. Honestly, there was one like a whole group that had like pretty much everyone from the like original trilogy, like all the main characters. That were all kind of their own Japanese version of it. Like Princess Leia was more of like geisha style. R2-D2 had like the big straw hat that someone like painted with like R2 stuff. Like, so he's kind of like a farmer, like clothes, you know, like it was really, really creative. Like really cool to see how people did that
do
stuff.
figures of those things? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen.
They did
that
have some like
R2 and
fancy
that-
ones, but these were definitely, I think, like these people's interpretations. Maybe I know what you're talking about. They weren't like a 1-to-1 copy, like, but maybe some of them were. I don't remember like exactly, but it was excellent, like just really cool. And then just overall, like because it's a Star Wars specific thing, there was lots and lots of really fun and very niche costumes, and I always love that kind of stuff. Overall, though, there was a lot less costumes at this con compared to like the other celebration I've been to or other conventions in general. I think that's just purely a culture thing for the most part, and that people were traveling there from far away, like kind of like us, where it's like this is our first time in Japan. Do I want to like pack an entire suitcase that is just costume stuff, or do I want to just wear like, you know, my easier one this time? Which is definitely the route that I took. Like I did not bring roller skates all the way to Japan, like trying to do that kind of thing.
You rented them there.
Yeah, that would have been better.
You did a classic rent and mod. Yeah.
I probably could have gotten away with it after I saw it, but I was also like afraid of trying to like explain to a Japanese security guard why I want to wear roller skates in the convention center versus like when I was in LA, no one even asked. So it just was a lot easier that way. So yeah, like overall it was that like the vibe to me was way more based on like people who were there to like collect stuff or like, yeah, like be there for that like exclusivity and like that kind of thing. Because like, just for example, the crowd was doubled on Friday that it was any other day because it's like when everything drops. There were lines everywhere. It was so hard to walk like just around the room to get from one end to the other. Like there was one point where like we split up a bit and with the 4 of us that were there, and like I was trying to get from one side of the room to the other to meet my friend. It took me at least 30 minutes to get there because the crowds were just moving so slowly, and it was like not easy to find each other, and it was so crowded that first day.
Patrick would be spending that first day in the hotel room.
I mean, it was still lots of fun, don't get me wrong, but it was just like it was very, very crowded. Like it was noticeably, in my opinion. And I don't know if it was also maybe just something where like the way they set up booths were maybe a little too close to each other, or maybe they like things like that. It's hard for me to like totally gauge that because I've never been to another show in that area, but yeah, it was just like a little bit of a different vibe. And it's just kind of a lot quieter in general than I think American cons are. But that's also very much Japanese like culture as well. Like people aren't like yelling and shouting. There was like at the Anaheim one, there was a lot more like photo ops and like things you could do to like occupy your time during the day. There was a lot less of that at this one. It's not that there wasn't that. There was just less of it.
It seems like it seems like that would amp up just given my cursory knowledge of Japanese like cosplay culture.
And I don't know if maybe it just doesn't apply to Star Wars as much, maybe like that it's just different. And like, so I don't know exactly what like made it all different, like technically or like whatever. I would be dying to know also like the percentage of people that like traveled in for it versus that are local. Like I would be really curious to know what that number is. But they also said like during one of the panels that they had over 160 something different countries represented in the people there. So like a lot of the people were not from Japan. Like
so
I heard so many different languages at that convention. Still a diverse
crowd.
Very diverse. Like just walking around, heard so many different languages, like, when you're just like standing in line listening to people and stuff. But it was really cool. We ended up like they did though have stuff where like because it was so crowded and all this stuff, like the food situation was really bad. If you tried to eat the food, like I mentioned, the special Star Wars food that they had there, it was nearly impossible. We waited in line for an hour and just bailed on the line because like once we got up to that point, they gave us menus and they're like, we're sold out of this, 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 and this. And my friends that I was with are vegetarians, so they couldn't eat anything that was left. Luckily, they had food trucks outside, and I'm glad that they did because that was like savior. We were all starving that day and like had already waited an hour trying to get food and couldn't get food, and then found the food trucks, and that definitely like saved the day. But that was fun too because it's all like different types of food than is like our normal food truck. So that was also
isn't
cool.
The first time that they've done Celebration in Japan, is it?
It is the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe this will be the learning curve, and next
I
time
definitely think there's stuff that's like this is totally fixable for next time.
Yeah.
It just like wasn't very well planned. I also think the way that they had you wait in line for the food was slowing it down significantly because it was like a line for a line for a line.
Yeah.
There was a line to get up to the point where you got menus, then you had to select what you wanted, then go to different stands and get it, and then check out. So it was a very inefficient system. The food all looked really cute, and like I heard that it was good from the people that got to eat it, but like it was way too much of a pain for us to deal with, especially when we were really hungry. And honestly, like you can get food from 7-Eleven in Japan, and that's totally fine and very delicious. And so like if you just step outside of the convention center, like and went or back to the train station, you could get other food too. And so that wasn't like a deal breaker. It was just a little frustrating. And there was also stuff like the store was a nightmare. So we had passes to go on Saturday. So like fast passes to go on Saturday. So we didn't try to go on Friday, but pretty much if you wanted to get anything, you had to have gone on Friday. My friend waited in line from the first thing in the morning because the rest of us, except for her, so the panels are all on a lottery system as well. So you know ahead of time if you're in or out, and they do have some standing room, but you better be there at the crack of dawn if you're really going to get those. So we only planned to go to the panels that we had the passes for. So 3 out of the 4 of us had the pass for Andor Saturday morning. The fourth person went to go get in the line while we were there, and that was about at 8:30 in the morning. She was in line and traded off with her partner for over 6 hours. It got into the store and everything was gone. Like I only asked for a couple of things, and like they couldn't find any of them. And like she ended up finding the one thing that I wanted the most, but like the clothes that I wanted completely sold out. Didn't even have like sizes left. Like just completely picked clean from the descriptions that I was hearing. Cause like I didn't actually go in there.
She didn't hold anything for day 2. It was,
I think that they did. They told us that they did, but then our other friend on Sunday before we went back try to get in line at like the crack of dawn because she woke up really early, and it was the same thing. Like there was nothing there when she got in, and she was there pretty early. Like I would say, I mean, she waited in line for the convention to open first, so it was quite a long time.
When I say they, I mean, it's not like this is the first Star Wars celebration. It's also not the first time someone's in an event with this many people.
Right.
You would think there would be better projections for this.
I think the thing that they might have messed up is that the merch was really cool. And like I said, it was all kind of Japanese themed. So I think a lot of people bought multiples so that they would be able to bring it back for friends and stuff.
Yeah, it seems like
As
they
I
would
think
put like a
probably
limit, though,
what like
that they would limit that.
I don't know. Like there is limits on stuff. Like usually you can only buy like 1 or 2 of certain items. But like if you have a friend with you, I don't know. Like I didn't even actually go to the store because my friend waited in line and we were just like, hey, I want this one and this one if you can find it. You know.
Have you looked at aftermarket costs like on eBay for some of the stuff you were looking for to see like?
Oh,
what the
I
price
didn't think
jump
of
was?
that. No, I should. I'm curious because
I bet
probably
you people
terrible.
are buying
yeah.
it to pay for their
I'm,
trip.
I'm sure that that's some of it. But to be honest, like everywhere that we went afterwards, I saw people wearing the shirts. Like on the train afterwards, at the airport afterwards, like while we were at the Poke Center, I saw people wearing the shirt. So like clearly people bought a lot of them and they were really cool. And like, hey, it's okay. Like it's not the end of the world to not get the like special T-shirt or whatever. I still had a lot of fun. It's just that aspect of it that was not very well planned for
Managed,
or
yeah.
whatever. And it kind of felt like. It just felt like they didn't plan correctly. Like it's something that they can definitely do better. And this was not a problem when I went in Anaheim. I was shocked. Like I walked into the store, waited 15 minutes, bought the shirt I'm wearing, bought a whole bunch of stuff. Like I had a whole list of things people wanted, found all of them within, a short amount of time and was like checked out of the store. I do remember waiting a long time to check out of the store, but like it's a line that's like long but constantly moving,
Right.
So it's like, that waiting in lines is a huge part of conventions. So it's never like, oh, what? I had to wait in a line.
You're
I'm
well-versed.
shocked. Yeah.
I feel like we
I'm not
met
made
you-
for this.
we
I'm
met-
listening
no.
to all of this, and this is not my world at all.
Warren, do you
This
realize
this
that
was
we
very
met-
different though than the experience I had at the one in California. So I don't
Yeah.
feel like this was a normal experience.
Do you realize that we met you in a line at a convention?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was where we
And the
first
whole
met
time
you.
I was like, get me out of this line. This line sucks.
we were
That's
only
the fun thing though, is that you make friends and that people gave a lot of really cool swag that I have some to share.
you bought
here.
that rock and roll Mondo shirt because it was the only one that was in that size, Patrick, because you had sweat through the
Because I
other
had
shirt. remember?
sweated through my other shirt. It's just the venue like didn't have air when we went. It's so miserable.
I'm just
No,
saying.
but I'm-
Oh yeah, that year where it had no air conditioning.
we know
Yeah, it
how
was
well
awful.
versed you are in.
yeah,
in
I'm a
lines.
good line waiter.
So
But I didn't wait in that line.
Not talking about subject matter, but like
Yeah.
in terms of logistics and organization, whatever. I mean, is this like a D level experience or a C level experience? Like what was the experience of the con if you just remove the Star Wars
Yeah,
aspect?
take Star Wars out of it.
Oh, I think if you take just like the technical aspects of the con, I would probably rate it like a C, honestly. Like,
Wow.
which I hate to say because like I was so excited for this, and I had a
And
really good time.
Japanese are
If-
very efficient people.
Yes,
like
yes. But let me the thing that I kind of said the bad stuff first, but now I'll get to all the fun stuff.
Sure,
'cause,
yeah,
like,
of course,
Yeah,
of
like
course,
this is
yeah.
the technical stuff of like how it was run. And again, I feel like this is all very fixable. It really wasn't an issue at the last one I went to. So I feel like this was maybe just like growing
this is your
pains,
asterisk,
new venue, a
so
lot
that
of
in
things.
case they hear this, they let you come back next time. this is the hey, but we're still cool, right, guys?
I'm just being honest that like I don't think that those parts of it were run the best, and there was like some like clear like logistical issues.
Every
like I
rose
don't
has
think
its
anyone
thorns.
would. Yeah, I'm not doing the
my-
whole
my
Star
point is-
Cruiser 4-hour documentary of how much I hated this.
I'm assuming that all of these events contract out people that
Yes.
contract out organizations and companies that this is all they do is put on these events. So even just hearing some of this stuff is a bit surprising for an event
Right.
of this scale
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
even have the issue to start with.
I have a feeling that it was mostly just like, for whatever reason, they really underestimated like how many people
Yeah.
were going to be there and how
Which
much
is-
stuff people were going to buy.
Which is strange.
Which
yeah,
is strange.
yeah,
but
because they have a
that's fine.
fucking
Yeah.
list. Like, there's a number of people every day who bought the passes, and that's probably going to be pretty close to the number of people there. But
Especially who want to buy stuff. Like maybe they
Yeah.
underestimated how many of those people wanted to buy things or wanted
I
to
think
eat
and I
there,
think
or-
people just were buying multiples, and that's what happened. I don't think there was a ton of like that reselling was the pure issue of this. You know, it's just all these people running in to get stuff for eBay. Because a lot of people that I talked to were like, I came here this morning to get this toy. That's what I really wanted, you know, like,
But I can't imagine starting setting off my day with, as long as I get this one toy, it's a successful day. That's why I'm listening to this and I'm going like, wow, this is not the event.
And that's like not how I operate. Like I just like I said, like to me, it's like I wish I got that shirt, but I don't. It's not like doesn't change my like experience. Like
you
it's
just
fine.
love
It
the
would be
friends
cool.
you make along the way. I totally
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, that's the real thing.
Okay, tell us the good thing. I want to hear the your favorite parts.
So I'll show you really quick the cool thing that I did get from the store. So I got these playing cards that are like sabacc shaped. So they're the like coffin shape or whatever.
Oh, but it's actually.
But they are all like the Star Wars characters as the.
But it's not the actual sabacc game. It's like just the normal.
Yeah, it's actual cards, but like in sabacc shape, and then all the face cards are really cool. And my friend John Hensel made these drawings, so I thought that was
John
really
Hensel.
Cool.
John's handsome.
Love it.
But he works for Disney. He does a lot of stuff. I just got the like patch because I think that's cool.
How much were those cards, by the way?
I don't remember. And there's the official pin.
Check. That's a sweet pin.
Yeah, this is just the official regular pin because I just want like just give me one official thing. It's a celebration, I think.
Yeah, I would imagine. Patrick's looking up very cool.
And it's like, is it Arabesh or kanji? I can't tell
cards?
because of the font.
Yeah.
There's no way she paid $50 for those.
No, those were certainly not $50 at the store.
So I'm just telling you on eBay, $50.
I think it was like $15.
I'm just checking for you. Chopsticks are $75. I'm you didn't look. I'm looking.
No, it's all good.
Crazy. So they're super marking up.
So that's all the stuff that I got from the store after the debacle my friends went through. They were able to get some things that fit them. Yeah, a sabbatical. I love that.
Patrick,
Star
I'm really
Wars,
proud
are you
of
listening?
I'm very proud of you.
Okay, so the one panel that I did like win the lottery to go to was the Andor panel, which is the one that I really wanted because I love Andor. It's the best show that Star Wars has done in a long time, and damn, the second season is off to such a good start. We got to see the first episode early, like that day. We got to watch just the first episode of those 3 episodes that dropped, which was really mean because it leaves off on such a good cliffhanger, but I was like definitely like amped up my excitement even higher for the show. That was really cool. They also gave us a poster, the season 2 art. It's really cool with all the characters and everything. It's actually like a really nice poster, but it got kind of bent up because
I was gonna say, how'd you even get it back? That would not have survived
just
for me.
Tried to pack it very nicely on top of everything in my luggage and didn't get too bent up.
If you didn't have a tube and you got it back in that condition, I'm wildly impressed.
Yeah, for a free poster, like, yeah, the corners got bent, but like this is just for me to have anyway. I got the Andor one from the last Star Wars Celebration too, so I felt like that's cool to like have both of them. So that was like awesome. They had like an interview with all of the cast, and then they showed us the secret footage of the
Was Alan
new season.
Tudyk there?
Yes, he was. Pretty much everyone except for Skarsgård, Stellan Skarsgård.
He's my favorite, and he's
my favorite too.
Did they send another Skarsgård?
Yeah.
Well, Stellan Skarsgård's in.
There's
but I didn't know if they like tagged in another brother. Like,
oh no, that's their dad actually.
But they have
the original Skarsgård.
They're all of the Skarsgårdian lineage.
Yeah,
exactly.
they all come from him.
Yeah.
While we were there, it was cool. The person sitting next to me during the Andor panel is the person who writes and like makes all of the Star Wars origami books, like the official ones for Lucasfilm.
Okay. That you sat next to?
Yeah, that was the person I was sitting next to. So like we had like 30 minutes before it started. So of course I made friends.
Yeah. Sure.
And I was dressed as K2SO that day. So he made me a K2SO head out of paper he had in his backpack, which is like really cool.
That's
and then
fun.
I asked him to sign it for me. And on the back says, "May the folds be with you."
Oh my gosh.
that
That's
was
an origami
really
and
nice,
Star Wars
yeah.
reference.
I'm gonna get a fat person shirt that just says "May the folds be with you."
It's Jabba. It's Jabba on it.
It's Jabba.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be my workout shirt. Yeah.
I was like, oh man. I was like, none of my Rebels friends are here, but I was like, is it a picture of Ezra or actual Jabba? But that's for you guys when you're listening. But
I'm sure that's hilarious, Lauren. I'm gonna laugh.
yes, it was. Don't worry. But yeah, so that was really cool. The panels at these ones are always like the coolest things to get to go to because they come prepared to show you some like really good stuff. And like my friend got to go to the Ahsoka one, and they revealed Loth kittens, which are the cutest things ever, which are Loth cats, but they are just our little ball bodies because Dave Filoni said that their little chicken legs are not strong enough when they're babies for them to stand up, so they just roll around, and they're going to sell a bajillion toys of them, and I'm definitely going to buy one because they're so cute.
These are the things that
but yeah.
These are
Loath
the
cats.
things that I loathe kittens.
Yeah,
these
loathe kittens.
Are these?
That's
the
not even
same
spelled
things?
right because it needs an E.
It needs an E. It's fine. I can't edit it. It's too late.
But it is loath kittens. I'll put it in the chat for spelling.
Have we seen loaths before?
Loath cats are mainly from Rebels, but they have
the
Sabine
orange
had a
and
Loath cat in the live action Star Wars as well.
Sorry,
They're all over Galaxy's Edge as well.
Yes, the brownish and white
The
like
cats
spotted,
that have giant mouths
yes,
and
big
chicken
cheeks.
feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is
There's
the
no other way
kitten
to
version of that. That's basically
Yeah.
a ball with that same face.
Yes, and they're
That's
really
super cute.
Yeah,
I might buy one, and I'm allergic to cats.
I want one. They look really, really cute. They also so my friend was there and like described this to me. I didn't get to see it myself, but they said that like because they have like still writing the script for Ahsoka, that Dave Filoni actually drew like a storyboard version of the trailer, and that's what they got to see, which is, in my opinion, quite honestly, way cooler than seeing the trailer because they're probably the only people that will get to see this like storyboard version. It sounds really, really cool, especially because it also sounds like they are changing the script a lot for that show, like as it's like up until it's shot, I think. So that is exciting. And they announced who's gonna replace Roy Kinnear, the guy who I forget his Balin was the name of his character in the Ahsoka show, but now Roy McCann, the guy who played the Hound in Game of Thrones, is going to take his place, which is a great choice, I think. Really cool.
Why didn't they go with Chris Pratt?
Why?
I just thought I thought he got to replace everybody. I thought that was the go-to.
No, I'm like,
was
what?
Chris Pratt. So
I don't feel like him and this other guy have anything in common.
That was
so I'm like,
2024.
what?
That was
he can
2024.
play Mario. He has range. He can play anybody.
Yeah. I think this would be a weird choice, but maybe he could pull it off. That's so funny. I got a couple other toys that are really fun. This is from a company that I'd never heard of called Sticky Lab, but I thought these were just the best toys, and I bought a whole bunch of them. So it's these little like Star Wars characters, but they're just like sad and hugging their knees. They have like kind of like a ditto
I thought
face.
he was doing a cannonball into a pool.
Yeah, they're like
It looks
hugging
like it
their
floats
knees.
on water.
Yeah, I have Yoda.
Oh my gosh.
Is this anxiety Yoda?
Darth Vader. There's also Luke and the Death Star, but I just love these toys so much,
Those are
and I
fun.
accidentally bought like a whole bunch of them
You accidentally bought a whole bunch of them?
because the signage was all in Japanese.
Oh,
I didn't
see.
understand.
Okay, so you
that
literally accidentally
I did understand that they were blind box toys, but I thought I was buying one of them, or sorry, thought I was buying two, but I bought two boxes of blind boxes. So I ended up
Nice.
So you got some extra ones is what you're saying.
yeah, well, I ended up giving them to my friends that were there with me because I was like, this is ridiculous. Do you guys want some toys?
Patrick, it's okay. She gave them to her friends.
Give them to her
Yeah.
friends. As long as your friends got
That was a
them.
capital
I have
F
presents for
friends.
you guys, but I don't want to show you them.
That
I
was
want
a
you to be
capital F.
surprised.
Fair,
No,
fair.
you got to show us on here so you can capture our surprise in front of the world.
No.
No,
I
I
don't
just
want to
sent it to
feign
you.
surprise if I
Show
hate
me-
it.
How about this? Show me Patrick's gift on here, and you can show him mine.
I'll send you guys your presents. I feel like that would be more fun to. You can show everybody when you get them.
Okay, that sounds good.
But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
I really like these guys. I have the whole set of them. There's also a Death Star and a Luke where his hand comes on and off.
Oh, that's
But
so
I just thought that
good.
they're
Oh, no.
so funny, and they had a few different sizes. So I also thought when they handed me the box that, oh, I must have just bought the larger size and gotten two of those. Oh well, they're all cute. It will be fine. Like it was.
We've all,
but
hey,
it,
listen, we've
Yeah.
all purchased things thinking it was one thing and then opened it and found out
it was
something
not
else.
that bad of a mistake. It was like a $35-$40 mistake. So like,
And
it's
you got
okay.
way more
Yeah.
toys out of it. Like
yeah,
that's,
yeah. So like, I got all the ones that I wanted. So
That's a win-win-win. That's a classic Michael Scott win-win.
it was really funny to me though that I did that. And then the other couple things that I just want to show off is some cool swag that people gave me. We went to the Nintendo Museum, but I got one of these like Oga's Cantina patches.
Yeah, great.
Which is really cool.
At the Nintendo Museum?
Yep, some guy had a really cool Star Wars jacket, so we're like, "Hey, we like your Star Wars jacket."
Cool. All right. Cool.
And then we talked about Celebration. He's had that on him. This is really cool. This is some people that we met. This is the Loth Cat Club. This is a Loth Cat. Now I forgot that I had a picture of one right here.
I talk to someone, they feel threatened. Every time you talk to them, you get swag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so friendly. They're like, I have to give you something for this interaction. Yeah. Yours is, I've got to get away from you.
How do I end this interaction?
I need to
I mean,
get
at
out of this
cons now, it's like
interaction.
more and more common. I feel like to get the swag gifts and stuff. It was really fun.
You also
and then
probably went with stuff, right? Did you bring some of your sticker
No,
packs
this is
and
like the
stuff?
only time I did not bring stuff. I was too busy making my costumes at the last minute, okay?
Oh, Lauren.
But I still got some fun stuff. This is my absolute favorite one. So I have to kind of explain this, but this is a logo for like a Star Wars version of the logo for this transport company in Japan that will ferry your luggage from city to city. We used this a couple times, and we literally picked them because their logo is two black cats, like the mommy cat carrying the baby cat, and we're like, that's so cute. We love Yamamoto. There were two girls who made Star Wars versions of these guys and like had Loth cats instead of the black cats, and they had like a box from the transport company with like a puppet that they made and everything. It was so cute. So they gave out these stickers for the like Loth cat version of the Yamamoto transport, and it was so awesome. By far the coolest costume that I saw.
I feel
there.
like Japan was made for you.
Yeah.
Like this is
In terms of the height of door frames.
Yeah, it was
tables.
great. It was great.
Everything is sized appropriately. No, I think Japan is your vibe. Your whole life has led to this experience.
Except that you have to be quiet there, and I'm not good at that.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
You should never move to Japan.
No, I would have trouble. The one last thing is that so I mentioned that sketchbook that I went on a mission for. I did find one, and it took me a while, but I found my friend as well. And she had made some really cool custom stamps for Star Wars Celebration. It's because I don't know if you guys know about this, but like a lot of places in Japan, when you go around, have like stamps for you to collect. So like we went to the aquarium. This is a stamp book you can buy, and they have really, really adorable little stamps for you about like all the animals and stuff. And like different temples have like all these different kind of things like this, so you can like collect stamps. I didn't have like paper the whole time, so like wasn't able to do this at every place. So
book.
so she made all of these different stamps, which are all really cool, like custom Star Wars Celebration ones, and they're all like carved by hand by this other artist who did this one. A whole bunch of these. They're like so detailed. They're like really, really cool. He did like
Those are hand carved stamps.
Yes, and they just had like a whole section outside where people were like trading their stamps and everything, and like so I was bringing her a book to like do stamps in because she had made so many. It was really, really cool. It was just fun to see. Like that was like again just a really cool like integration of like something super Japanese with this convention that made it really special. One of the booths also had one for Star Wars Celebration, like that was official, so like snuck one. I found out later that I was totally not supposed to do this, but it was not at all obvious. It was just sitting on a table. No one was there. And so I was like, oh, cool. And then someone's like, later was like, oh, you were only allowed to do that if you bought a bag there. It was supposed to be for the bags. I was like, I honestly had no clue. I just thought it would be nice. It didn't hurt anything, obviously.
Classic American, just going and taking what they want.
Yeah.
But at least you were singing that deep in the heart of Texas while you were doing it.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I loved it. So yeah, like getting to see all the cool stuff there. Like a lot of the displays were really awesome. They had this whole section for Star Wars animation that had the like kind of all the stuff from Star Wars Visions. So like character designs, like 360s. The ones that are stop motion, they had the characters like figurines there. Some of the what's the word? The like models that their background on or whatever. Like just some really, really cool stuff. Some really cool like photo ops. The Lego had a huge booth there where like if you were young enough, you could go up and make these little miniature starfighters, and they put them all on a wall that was like building over the weekend. So it was like this huge space battle by the end of it. That was
That's
really
rad.
cool. Yeah, they had a whole like section for kids with different like photo ops and stamps that you could collect. That was really cool. And those were like really fun because they were, again, like super Japanese themed. Like someone did a ramen shop, but like all the food was like Star Wars food. So it had like, like alien feet sticking out of the bowl of ramen and like really fun stuff like that. Cause like all the stores when you walk around in Japan have fake plastic food outside. So it was kind of like a Star Warsification of that thing as well, which was just really fun to see.
The display food.
Yeah. We went to a store that only sold the display food, and I'm so mad at myself for not buying way more of it because it was like so funny. They had like every food you could imagine, but plastic, like hyper realistic. Like you would put this, you could prank someone so easily with this. It's just a weird thing in Japan, but I love it. Yeah, like all kinds of food. All kinds of food. I don't like. They had at least some cake. I don't remember specifically they had carrot cake. They had so many different.
I'm
gonna
send you a list of food.
They did have pasta.
I'm gonna need you to tell me if they make that in that.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, it was really fun.
This is important to me.
Yeah. So overall, I really had a great time. Star Wars Celebration was very cool in Japan. Even though I complained about a couple of things, I still had a really good time, and it was really fun to just. It's always cool to like. I think go to a convention like that where it's like so niche, like everyone's here because they love Star Wars. So like after we're leaving from the like indoor panel, it's like, oh yeah, do you think this thing will tie into with like TIE fighters and Thrawn and stuff? And it's like, this is my people. I'm so happy to be this people. Nerdy. So that's awesome. Really, really lots of fun. It was a very cool experience, and probably gonna go when it's in Anaheim, or it's just Los Angeles next year. It's not Anaheim, so we'll see. It's again a lottery, so we'll have to try and see what happens next year.
All right,
but that's gonna be it for me.
I was gonna say that I'm gonna enter the. No, I was gonna say I'm gonna enter the lottery, but I'm not going to. It's not my vibe, but I love it for you. And if anyone deserves to go,
fun. Yeah.
No, I mean I'm sure it would be fun, but I'm saying like if me going prevented another Lauren from going, that would be a travesty. Yeah. You talked about all the people that were there maybe just to get the stuff, and like you're there as like the true fan type person.
I knew
so
if you didn't say true fan, I was gonna have to say true fan. So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Oh, here, wait, look, real quick.
True fan.
You can kind of see with this lighting how torched my neck is. You see how red it is?
Yeah, it looks awful.
Yeah, I was like, I'm also very sunburned.
So bad. It looks really
the worst
bad.
of it's very it, like on my lower back.
All right, I'm gonna talk about another S. We've had Star Wars, and now we're gonna talk about Survivor, the board game. Now this is gonna be slightly quicker, but that's okay. I may have mentioned this before, but I do want to give another rundown and then show off the actual pieces for it. So this is the first official board game for Survivor, the television show that's been on for a while now. I mean, we're on season 50 or 40
we're on season
something.
48. We just finished 48, so 49.
We just finished 48,
wow.
so we're closing in on 50. They do 2 seasons a year typically, so that gives you an idea of when we'll get there. And still with Jeff Probst, congratulations. But this game plays very much like Survivor in that you have a tribe that you manage. There are multiple tribes, so every person that plays the game represents a tribe, and they have their own tribe members. These are cards. And so if one of your members gets voted out, it doesn't mean you're out of the game. You're not out until all of your tribe members get voted out of the game. But much like Survivor, you don't just win because, you win the last immunity challenge. You win because your peers decide that you win. And in the same way with this game, ultimately, your peers have to choose you as the winner.
Specifically the people who you voted out.
The people you voted out. So it's a very, very social game. So this is the actual voting box. The box itself becomes the voting box. So when you do tribal council, people actually secretly drop their votes in. The person that's the tribal leader pulls out the votes and actually reads who they go to. Again, those people get voted out. Lots of twists, challenges, etc. Another interesting part of this game is you're forced to play. So the first action you always do in your turn is steal a card. And you cannot choose not to. You can't decide, I don't want to steal, or I don't want to whatever.
I just want to be cool, Daddy.
Yeah, exactly. like I mentioned, every person is a tribe. In order to start your turn, like at the beginning of your turn, you have to take from another tribe, and so it's this like forced gameplay. Because if you're not making moves, then you're not really playing the game, and it also forces you to then have your social game to defend those actions to try to actually win at the end. So anyway, you play several rounds. Once you get through all your cards, once people are voted out, it goes to the final tribal, and then you literally have to present your case, and then everybody has to vote. And for that reason, we've played several rounds of this. Rounds can play very differently, and people can win for very, very different reasons. I will say, because of the social aspect and because of the amount of either talking or arguing or deal making or whatever that you want to happen, more people is more fun.
Yeah.
So if you do play this game, I would play it with the max number of people that you can. If you only have a couple people, I think it's fine for the most part. You'll still enjoy doing the individual like challenges that happen throughout the turns. But the final tribal does not play as well if you don't have a larger group of people.
It does in some ways make it actually slightly trickier because you're playing for one person's vote as opposed
right
to,
if you're playing with the smallest amount of people. So I would play with as many as you can. The last note of that, I mentioned like mini challenges. As you're playing rounds, there are cards that will force you to square off with other players. Now it might be squaring off in terms of like paper, rock, scissors, or they have these like number games, like who throws the lowest number that's a non-repeating number and things like that. But they're cool little things to do. Like the first time you do them, the fact that you can sit at a table, you can challenge someone one-on-one or have three people challenge each other. And in these little mini games, it's actually a fun little moment that happens. So I found all of that very delightful. And the final thing is, for idol hunters, there are idols to be found. And so, yeah, keep a lookout. But that's it. It's called Survivor. The Tribe Has Spoken. Party game. Play it with a lot of people. Social aspect. If you're a fan of the show, you'll like it even more. That's the game.
The only thing you didn't say,
Yeah.
I agree with everything you said. The only thing you didn't say, Jeff Probst actually designed it. Like he was with the
that's really
design
cool.
team. So,
Allegedly.
well, I mean, it says
No,
it,
I mean,
right?
yeah,
Like
it does say
it's been
it, yeah.
pretty. That's one of the selling points of the game is that he was actually
Yeah.
part of the development team.
Lauren, you have a question? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So I have not watched much Survivor. I'm kind of like obviously like aware of the basics of everything. Do you feel like this game is more interesting if you're like a super fan, or anyone can play?
I do actually think that if you're someone that knows the show, that does benefit you, but maybe not any more than someone that just has general gameplay knowledge. So like for instance, if you watch games like Traders,
Yeah.
then you still have a lot of the same knowledge you would have from watching a game like Survivor. So you may still do very well. If you're not the type of person that watches these hybrid like social
Reality
challenge shows,
challenge games, yeah.
if you don't have that type of game knowledge, you will be very poor at this.
Yeah.
Like you have to build that up. I
You
mean,
have to strategize or whatever. You
yeah,
can't
exactly.
just like
You have to know
throw it like
when to talk,
yeah.
when to show your hand, when to strike up a deal, when not to strike up a deal, like, and that stuff.
When
you
to
do
double
learn.
down and when
Yeah.
to concede. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, yeah.
And how
I
much
think
do you-
it's enhanced if you're a big fan of Survivor. But
Yeah.
definitely playable if you are a fan of just strategy games like this, like social strategy games. Not a good game if you don't like having to, like, it's not a game where you're rolling the dice and just moving however.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have to
be
make
involved,
social
yeah.
decisions. So if you don't like games like that where you have to interact with people, this is not the game for you.
And then, like, how closely do you feel like the game, like the board game, mirrors the show?
Probably as closely as you can, and something you can just
Like,
sit around on the table.
you feel like
and
it
do.
feels kind of like how you imagine, or like I don't know, you know what I mean?
To be clear, like it's not a board game; it's a card game.
Okay.
And so from that standpoint, it's maybe even more limited to social interaction.
Okay, yeah.
But But yeah, I mean,
the social game feels pretty on on
social
point.
game feels good. I can't imagine it feeling better for something you can just sit at the table and not move and play.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is probably as close as you can get.
And it's it's a short game. It doesn't take much time. And survivors from the beginning, their pillars are outwit, outplay, outlast, right? And considering this is a short form card game that you play at the table, it actually hits all of those elements. Like you can, when you're at the end, you're supposed to make a case if you are one of the last two people who gets to make a case for why you should win. You get to bring up like, yeah, I outwitted you in this way, I outplayed you in this way, and I managed to get this far, right? So like to be able to capture that in like a 30-minute card game is pretty impressive, honestly. Like it feels like it's captured the spirit of Survivor.
That's very cool.
All right, Andrew, I think you have one more S for us to take us home.
Let me bring this S train to the final station, and that is Sinners. You may have heard of this film. It's Ryan Coogler's new mainstream R-rated horror film starring Michael B. Jordan against himself. In this film, Michael B. Jordan plays twin boys in this film.
They're just cousins.
Yeah, they're just cousins. But this takes place in the 1930s in America. It takes place in I just blanked.
Mississippi?
Is it Mississippi? Yes.
In the
Takes
South.
place in the deep South in Mississippi in the 1930s. So it is a bit of a period piece. And I'm not going to give anything away from it other than to say a couple of things that you would have already figured out from the trailer. There's a turn. There's definitely, this film deals a lot with the political and racial, the political undertones of like racial inequality, and specifically, it's kind of specifically whites versus blacks. Although there's some interesting cultural elements to this that I think are super important to the storytelling in way of some Chinese people and some Irish people. So like there's it's not just your traditional black versus white in the traditional sense, but it's actually more true to what the South would have been during this time than what I think we typically think of as Americans. But it about halfway through the film, there's a bit of a turn, and it becomes less of just this kind of period piece and becomes a horror movie.
Yeah.
And, if you've seen any of the trailers, you can at least kind of pick up on the fact of what kind of horror film this is, but it plays really straight into a classic kind. It's a new take on a classic horror film. Again, I don't want to say much. One thing you don't take away from the trailers is how much music has to do with this film. The music is insane. It is so good. And the music is its own character in this film. And it transcends the genre for sure. Like the amount of music that's kind of played into this film definitely transcends this. You don't get this in horror films typically. So it feels very artistic and feels very outside of the box in way of the genre that it's kind of packaged in for this film. The acting in this is fantastic. The writing is fantastic. It's a moving film. It's deeply moving. I forget that Michael B. Jordan is one person playing two characters.
Yes.
About 10 minutes into the film, you just see them as two different actors because they play so differently. It's very clear which
they did a
character
really
is
good
which.
job. Yeah, there's never a moment where you're like, which one's which?
And it's not like there's prosthetics that like one of them's like all dolled up and has a bunch of stuff on that's unrecognizable. It's him.
It's how they dress and then how he talks and
how he talks
acts.
and just his whole persona changes.
Very impressive.
I don't want to say a lot more about the film itself, other than this is the first movie in a long time I've given a 10 out of 10.
I would totally agree with that.
This movie is phenomenal, and there are so many reasons to love this movie on its own, just as an art form. But outside of that, the cultural implications of this film are also incredibly important. And then also the for such a time as this that we're in the political climate, but then also in the movie industry. This is also a big deal movie in the movie industry because it has some really kind of not unheard of in the sense that these elements or components of his deal, Ryan Coogler, haven't happened before. They have elements of it have, but this is the kind of a first in at least a long time where he's got kind of a premium deal where he has all of these major components in place. One of those things is he gets paid from the gross of the film before the studio gets paid. So he gets, and I forget what that's called right now, but that's written into the contract that he recoups, like he gets all of his money before the studio gets recouped any of their money. This is a $90 to $100 million budgeted horror film, which is already a pretty high budget horror film. And currently it is sitting at 235, I believe, 225 million worldwide right now, which means that this movie has at least broken even now, because they say that it takes at least 2 to 2.5 times the amount of money for their budget for it to become a break even. And so this movie has at least broken even. And then on top of that, the other component to his deal, which makes this a significant film in the movie industry, is after 25 years, he gets all of the rights back. He maintains sole ownership of the rights of this story and film after 25 years from its release date. So that's huge. Companies don't do that. And it's a Warner Brothers movie. It's not like it's Warner Brothers, right? I said that.
Yeah, I heard a podcast earlier today that was talking that the only other deal that's been struck like this was Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Right.
So this is very, very, very rare.
These are sweetheart deals for sure. And and it's wild if you wonder why he was given this deal, of who Ryan Coogler is. He is.
He's pretty successful.
Yeah, he did Black Panther, and
Creed,
he did
all the Creeds.
Yeah, the Creed films. So, ironically, all of those films are with Michael B. Jordan. So maybe Michael B. Jordan is
he's like his muse,
boy.
you know.
Yeah. But either way, it could not get a further recommendation from me. Even if you don't like horror movies, I still think you should see it because of the cultural implications and
it's
the music
also
in it.
not like scary horror movie.
It's not, but it is.
It's gory. It's suspenseful,
gory.
but I don't think it's like terrifying. Like it's not something that like haunts you after you've seen it.
No, and Becca will be seeing it once it's streaming. We'll watch it at home. Or during the day, right? Like she'll be able to watch it. But I mean, there's some classic horror film tropes for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But the way they tell the story is very different. And again, if you do any of the research on the back end, if you watch any of these videos, like with the Easter eggs of what the different elements of this movie are actually portraying, it is deeply, deeply culturally just enriched. There is so much. About there are true stories hidden within this fictional story about people who lived during that time, specifically the Asian family. If you've seen the movie, you know who I'm talking about. That's based on an actual family, who lived in Mississippi. So like there's so much in the music choices, and it's a phenomenal movie. There is a stinger at the end. I don't think the stinger implies that there's going to be another film.
I think
there's two
stingers. Yeah, and I think they've said that they want to do a spin-off.
Okay,
not necessarily a sequel. Like
just another thing in this universe.
Yeah,
because
I was
they've kind of told this story.
I was like, there's a very obvious character at the end
Yes.
to potentially use for a spin-off, and I think that's the idea.
Okay, all right.
Like a different era with that character. You know, like still kind of a period piece.
I hope they don't. Because
I think they should wait a while or whatever.
It just feels perfect, and it feels like let the perfect thing be perfect. But who knows? Who's to say?
I don't feel like Ryan Coogler. It seems like the type of guy to just do it for the sake of making money. I think he would only do it if he had a really cool idea. So like, I have a feeling that he wrote that into the contract so that because he has at least a spark of an idea. But I don't think it'll be anytime soon before we if we see any kind of sequel or spinoff.
That's it. That's all I have to say about it. Wonderful 10 out of 10 for me. Patrick, you nodded along. It seemed like you agreed with that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Wait,
Oh,
yes, you have.
I thought you said you had.
I was going to, and it never materialized. I have not seen it.
It's
What?
absolutely excellent. Well, I'm
The
glad
whole
it's
reason
so
I was-
spoiler free.
I was literally I was talking to someone today saying that I might actually take a trip down to Atlanta because I can catch several films that I've recently missed that are playing and just do like a day of
A whole day in the
catch-up.
movie theater.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I wouldn't have honestly probably even said as much as I did.
No, it's
No,
No, I
it's
think
fine.
you
Like,
played it very safe.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't
No,
give
it's fine.
anything away for sure. But
I was like, the
Yeah.
main thing to give away has not been given away. So yeah,
you need to see this film. It's
yeah,
it's
so
gone.
good.
It's been.
I
want to
go see it again really bad.
They are re-releasing it in IMAX the back half of May. So in 2 weeks,
Yeah,
they're
'cause
re-releasing it
after
in 70
they're done with
millimeter.
Thunderbolts, they'll kick them out and bring Sinners back.
We'll talk about Thunderbolts a different time.
I haven't got a chance to see that yet, but yeah,
It's actually very good, but we'll talk about it.
I'm excited. I
different
just
time,
haven't-
different time.
I had to
So
work yesterday.
Thunderbolts. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, let's not spoil two things for me right now.
Yeah.
It's in 70
only take
millimeter.
one.
It's in 70 millimeter IMAX. So find a
Okay.
screen because I'm trying to find a screen. I think there's one in Austin.
Yeah, I have to
and
go.
Lovin and I are gonna maybe take a trip to go see it in IMAX because it would be stunning. And
I want to go see it in IMAX mainly. Yeah, for it was really really good. I also had a weird experience at the theater where the guy next to me was like yelling and talking through the whole movie.
Yes.
and not in a fun way, in a really annoying way.
No, we had the fun way. We had the
And
like.
he seemed kind
full
of
experience.
threatening, so I didn't say anything. But I was like really not having a good time sitting
That's a
next to that
bummer.
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So go see it. Go see it again, kind of without the
Yes,
the angst
I
of
will tell a
crazy
funny story that kind of gives the tone of this interaction. Where when the movie started and they revealed that Michael B. Jordan is playing two parts, and they show that shot with the two of them. He's like, "Oh my gosh, how did they do this?" And this guy's girlfriend is like, "I don't know, green screen." And he's like, "What? You looked up stuff about the movie ahead of time? That's not cool." And then like turned away from her.
This
It
guy
was the
feels
weirdest
like he
thing I've
shouldn't
ever
be able to
seen.
go see movies in public.
Oh, no, it was
This guy
bad.
is what streaming is designed for.
So that
Stay
was
out of the public.
the whole tone of it, and I'm like, this guy's like, I think too like just drunk, so he's
Just
not
an
realizing how
idiot.
loud he is.
Just an
Like,
idiot.
yeah,
On that note, we're gonna call this one done. Find show notes and links to the stuff we talked about. We covered a lot. Happy to have you back, Lauren. For those of you who
Thank
tuned in
you.
on our off recording night, thank you for doing so. We're glad that you joined us. We love you all. And we will see you again in a couple of weeks. Until then, again, like I said, you can find the show notes over at mof1.network. While you're there, you can find just a whole cornucopia of episodes from the last decade of us doing this. You can join the Slack conversation there, that little hashtag logo. Something else, we're on social media at mof1 podcast. Oh, let's roll some dice. We haven't done that in a month.
oh yeah, I gotta
Let's
go
roll
get
some dice
mine.
to figure out what we're talking about next time.
I gotta open the file. I wasn't ready. I'm gonna go
I've
grab
got my
dice.
little dice. I've got my box to board dice tower that now has a permanent spot on my desk.
Hey, Doc. Love you too, buddy.
Love you, bud.
I'm gonna use these
I-
really cute new dice that I
listen.
got. The last time I used them, they rolled 3 nat 20. So
I rolled a nat 20 just now.
Shut your face
oh,
off.
nice, good
100%.
Put your
start.
face in your own butt and then shut it down.
Good start. All right, let's
If I
go.
could, I would.
I've been trying for years to figure that
All right,
out.
I got a 13.
and I got a 10.
Art, so that's fine.
I would have to remove all my ribs. I have to remove.
The classic Marilyn Manson approach.
Would you get
I think
Andrew?
he just
I
took
got a
out
t-
one. I don't think
I
he
got a
took out
10.
the entire
A
cage.
10.
The
You got tech.
tech. Okay.
I
and
did
have-
not
it's
use.
a
I
one,
did not
so-
use my new dice. So I did get new dice as well as a
Oh.
gift, but I did not use the new ones. I
I'm
used
trying to.
the.
I think
other
these are
ones.
way
Use the
too small
internet.
to show, but they have little magic froggies on them.
Oh, those are
They
cute.
are
These are
really
glow in the
cute.
dark,
I can't get it.
apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, you can actually read those, Patrick.
Which is why I
The
didn't
ama-
use them. So I assume I got that 20.
The amount of
Patrick suitcase.
the amount of comments
would
we
pay
got
to
at
see that.
Creative South about how
I know.
beautiful your dice were, about how they were impossible to read was almost a one, almost 1-to-1. It was
Yeah.
almost
That's so
a
funny.
1-to-1.
I'm still riding that ego high. For sure.
Okay, we're gonna get out of this episode for now, though. You can find me at Andrew Sale with 3s instead of E's. Lauren, where can people see all your pictures?
I'm at Not Cool Co. everywhere, and I posted them all on my stories, and I need to post them
Great.
for real. But yeah,
So go back in time and then check out Not Cool
Yeah.
Co. 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And then Patrick, where do people find you on the interweb?
At the Patrick Suitcase.
We're gonna get out of here. I'm Andrew.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Patrick.
Love you all. Peace out.
Love ya. May the force be with you.
I'm indifferent about you. Bye.
Kind of felt like you got
Kind of felt like you were trying to
there. Huh?
force
Yeah,
me to do
for-
something,
you know.
and I refuse to.
Oh man,
How
Lauren-
dare you?
Lauren, how much better is my lighting now that I've had to reset everything back up in a different configuration? It's just good.
It's
right?
great. Yeah.
It's nice and
very
even.
nice.
I should have done this the whole time. That's all.
Wait, compared to what?
What it was before. The light.
I was like, mine's just one big ring light up there.
My lighting is set up differently since I came back from Creative South because I had to put everything back together. And
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you
This
used
new
all your
setup
lights
is-
for Creative South.
yeah, and this new setup is just much more even. It's just, yeah, just much better.
Very cool. It's so nice
All right.
to see you guys.
It is time. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my birthday weekend
Yes.
Yeah.
before
Take off those
work.
pants. We will see.
Bro.
We'll see everybody in 2 weeks.
Yes.
But for now,
That's right.
we're gonna start waving.
Just 2 fingers.
Oh, wait. I have to do something now. I realize
Yeah.
that's a cue for me. No, that's bad.
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
You are good. Bye, everybody.